Hey everyone, Slayer here to introduce Nasty and Friends from BDC Studios, a podcast where two friends who met in the Army Reserves get together and talk about shit. One's a firefighter and the other has a funny laugh. So sit back, get rid of your kids, and hold on to your because it's about to get nasty, friends.
Welcome to Nasty and Friends with Pack Nasty and Spicy Motherfucking Brown.
Holy shit. Season 3, episode 44. It's fucking finally glad to be back in BDC Studios with you. This is Pag Nasty. I'm here with Spicy Brown. We'll get to some shit, but there is something urgent that we have to get to.
Oh, shit.
Now, before I got here, you were not at BDC Studios. You told me, you gave me the code to get into BDC Studios.
Yeah.
And you're like, hey, I have something for you. It's in the downstairs refrigerator. Could
Yeah.
you elaborate, please?
All right, so I knew it was a special occasion. My man's just coming into town. We're in fucking BDC Studios. We're going to be recording the podcast, episode 44. I knew I had to go all out for my man. So I got a 6-pack of Zima, refreshing citrus beverage, 5.0% alcohol. And I knew he would be excited.
Yes.
Limited release.
Yes. You can't fucking make this up, bro. I swear to God.
Oh, shit.
I bought this for you today.
You gotta be shitting.
No, man. It's a 6-pack of Zima, limited release as well. I was just gonna give it to you, like you and Cam, just like as a joke. And then when I looked in the refrigerator when you weren't here, I was like, I gotta bust it on the podcast. I
Holy
can't.
shit.
So now we have 12 Zimas here in BDC Studios. So you know shit's gonna get crazy.
Shit's gonna get crazy as fuck. This crazy because I bought my 6-pack today too.
Dude, that is fucking great. We were probably like within hours of each other. So so I just had to get that out right away because I've been like, you had no idea.
I had no fucking idea. You had no idea either.
No. So when I saw it, I busted up laughing. I called JPAX to let her know that I made it. And then I was like, oh, you have to get this. Because I told her, because I asked her if she wanted it. She's like, absolutely not. No. And I was like, all right. So I just wanted to make sure. So yeah, it's going to be fucking great. So
Real quick before we go ahead.
Yeah.
So if you don't know what Zima is, I don't know what the fuck it is. It's an alcoholic beverage that was popular, I think, in the 90s.
In the 90s, for sure.
The last time I probably had it, I was probably in high school. So a few years ago, they said they were coming back with it. And then recently, I've been seeing it in the stores.
Right.
And I didn't remember what it tasted like, but I'm like, fuck, I'm going to get some of that shit. It's a special occasion. We'll go all out for this. And me and Pags are sipping on some Zima right now. And even back in the day, Zima was like a joke.
Oh yeah, it's
like
always
a wine cooler.
Yeah,
kinda.
people would make fun of you, just
Yeah.
like, oh, you're gonna go get drunk, get some Zimas.
Yeah. It's the same alcohol content as like a beer. It's 5.5% alcohol.
Right, yeah.
But yeah, it's not beer. So it's like a wine cooler kind of people would make fun of you. But so that's the reason why.
I think we've talked about it, on the podcast before. But I just thought, like, I wanted to tell you so bad, and then because if you remember, I even said, I didn't even know they were selling it again. Like, I walked in to the liquor store today to get the Captain for tonight and this weekend, and so I passed it. I was like, oh, he'll fucking laugh his ass off, and I was just gonna come walking in with it like, hey, I got you guys some Zimas, ha ha ha. But dude, when I open up that, because I told you I almost didn't want to open up the refrigerator because I thought you were gonna like ice me.
Oh yeah.
So I wasn't for sure, but then I was like, no, I have to. I have to.
Yeah.
But I mean, what a fucking better way to start the fucking
Jesus,
podcast,
it's gonna be a
man.
good fucking weekend.
It's fucking great to be back. So again, guys, we get in when we can. So a lot of people have been hitting us up when you're coming out with the podcast. And again, when I say a lot of people, it's like 2. So, but it is always good to be back. We did some of the prison calls, which go all right, but it's just not the same looking at your beautiful face. So season 3, episode 44, man, it's just fucking, it's awesome.
Season 3, it's a new season, but it's the same bullshit. I promise.
Absolutely.
So we're in BDC Studios. It's a late night sesh. We had a late dinner, and now we're just getting started. But I want to talk a little bit about dinner. We got to talk about the
this
setup.
is a cooking show.
This is a cooking show, first and foremost. On the background, we have YouTube playing as always on mute. You want to explain?
No,
what it
you
is?
go ahead, because you know the situation better.
All right, so
You just schooled me. You just gave me the full story.
So everybody knows who Kanye West is. He's a mad.
He's
genius.
the greatest of all time.
He's a mad genius. Anyway, he's been losing it again. I think
there's a lot of speculation behind that. I think most people think it's probably hype for his new album that's coming out. So, that's what a lot of people think. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I think he's always been a little bit crazy. I think when his mom died, he got even crazy. He went to the hospital, came out, and now he's going off again. And I knew, like, because I must follow. I'm following him on Twitter.
Yeah.
And I don't ever see anything from him. And then, like, 3 weeks ago, he starts tweeting shit, and I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
Here we go.
It's like watching.
And anytime that he does, I mean, it's crazy.
Oh yeah.
Like, I mean, everybody's talking about it. It's on the news and shit. So again, that's why I feel like he's hyping the record. Which, I mean, good for him. You know.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So
anyway, he dropped a single a couple weeks ago, and shit. Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah,
so
yeah. Do you the name of it?
The name of the song.
Is that what you're looking up?
Yeah.
So which you were telling me that it came out and it's a legitimate song.
It's a real song.
And I think everybody has probably heard the clip where he's like scatting, I guess.
Yeah.
And if people don't know what that is, it's not shitting.
Well, it is. Scatting is technically shitting.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'll give you that.
But the song is called "Lift Yourself." And I got introduced to it a few weeks ago from the boys, and the boys were like, "Yo, you heard Kanye West's new song?" And I said, "No, man, but you know, I've been a fan of Kanye West for a long time.
Yeah, we talked about.
Yeah, oh yeah,
talked about his rap
in his prime. He was amazing. So I said no, and they said you got to hear it. I said, well, yeah, of course, it's Kanye's new single. So they played it, and I said, this isn't real. This is a joke. And they're like, no, it's real. And I Googled it, looked it up. Sure as shit, it's real. So if you don't know what we're talking about, go to YouTube. And if you don't know what YouTube is, it's too late for you. Pop yourself. Go to YouTube, type in Kanye West, Lift Yourself. You're going to find a gem there. Listen to it. At the end of it, he does a verse. And even leading into the verse, he says, this next verse, bars. Bars. And then like you say, Pags, he scats. So what happened with that scat verse, we'll call it the scat verse.
Yeah, I like that.
What, the scat verse. Kanye, hit us up. The scat verse, what happens is the internet is magic. We all know that. It's magic. First, it turned into a 1 hour loop of that scat verse. Now there's 10-hour versions of the scat verse. So what we have on in the background right now is Kanye dancing for 10 hours to the scat verse. And if you don't know what we're talking about, pause the podcast. You have to pause it. Go to YouTube. Watch Lift Yourself. And if you like it, watch the fucking 10-hour version. But check it out and then come back to the podcast. But
the 10-hour version isn't the whole song. It's just that verse. It's just the scat verse part of it, which is great. And then you and I were talking about the other great 10-hour videos on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And I showed you one that I don't think you had seen, and it was the
wizard, the jazz, Gandalf
sax.
Sax, yes.
Yeah, and it's like the song is great. And that's the best part about a lot of these 10-hour videos. It's usually just like a 30-second clip or less. It's probably usually smaller than that. It's usually like a loop of 10, 15 seconds, but then it's just 10 hours. And what were some of the other ones that you were saying that you liked on?
There's that one from Outkast, Hey Yeah. And the song starts off, and then Andre 3000 is like, all right, but then it keeps going. So all right. For an hour, you could do the 10-hour version. There's another one I've heard with the Foo Fighters, and it's
the best to use the song.
Yeah,
right?
the best. Yeah, and like it starts off normal, and then he's like, the best, and they keep looping that, the best, and he just says the best, that phrase, 10 hours.
I love shit like that. It's so annoying. But like, I don't know what those other views have, but the Gandalf one, it has 22 million views.
Crazy.
So it's and that one's catchy, dude. Like that.
Oh yeah.
Like we didn't even listen to it for very long.
Right.
And like it's going.
Oh yeah.
Like that, and then the fucking scat verse. They're like intertwined. Like so, I have just the instrumental of that over the scoopy dee boop.
Scoopy dee boop. And what I was saying, you get one of your friends. That are super high, way too high, or on Molly or whatever, and then turn it on, and then see if they even fucking notice.
Yeah, because by the time they notice, it's going to be at least an hour in.
At least an hour in. It's like, wait a minute. He's just saying the same shit.
But yeah, so that's what's on in the background, and I couldn't be more excited about it, honestly. Yeah, so dude. Pretty pumped.
Kanye's dancing.
It's so good.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you have your theory that it's a publicity stunt. There's other people.
Well, I think it's part of it. I mean, you can't get that popular, regardless of who you are, and still be like sane. I feel like, especially if you're like in the limelight like he is, and then you marry a Kardashian, which is arguably
that too.
Kim Kardashian is arguably one of the most popular people of all time. Right. I would say, and you don't think so?
No. Of one of the most popular people of all time.
I mean, yeah, I'm not saying that people like her, but I'm just saying, like, you ask any person, like, do you know who Kim Kardashian is? I would say 99.9% of people would say, I know the name.
People know the name.
Yeah, well, I mean, who else could you do that with? I mean, I don't think you could do that, like, with Jay-Z. I feel like, because, like, you get, like, they're into everything. They're into the games. They're into, like, makeup with the sisters. So I honestly do think... at least they know the Kardashian. Then you get like the OJ. Even people who aren't into pop culture, know from that end. And I'm talking about even like worldwide. So.
I mean, you got Oprah, you got LeBron James, you got
never heard of him.
No, if I saw it, Kim Kardashian could be in the same bar as me, and unless people were like, "Oh, that's Kim Kardashian," I probably wouldn't recognize her.
Yeah, but no, I'm not even saying like what she looks like, but
the name.
The name.
The Kardashian name. Two things. The Kardashian name is, people know who the fuck that is.
Right, yeah.
They know they're a celebrity or whatever. The other thing is they do make people crazy. Like Joe Rogan's stand-up, Triggered.
Yeah,
they talk about that with Bruce.
Yeah, well, have you seen, there are some theories. So I've gone down some rabbit holes of some Kanye theories. Okay. And there's like people taking pictures because there's one point where he like started dyeing his hair like different colors. So they're like, is he going to start transitioning soon and stuff like that?
I have not heard that.
Jesus, dude. I mean, the internet, there's so many rabbit holes that you can go down and fall into and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, who knows what the hell's going on with him? I just hope the album that he drops is good because that song is absolute dog shit.
Dude, I did not think it was real.
Yeah.
This is what I think, and I'll do it quick. I don't want to spend fucking 2 hours talking about Kanye.
People are already turning this off. Like, God, they haven't done a podcast in 6 months, and then they've just spent 2 hours talking about Kanye.
I'll do. This is my quick assessment. I think Kanye is a great rapper. I think he was a great person. I think with anybody who has a great amount of success like that, it's going to be hard on you. And I think Kanye might have some mental problems to begin with. Without the fame, without the Kardashians, without the limelight, without all this stuff, he might have that already. He lost his mom. That was hard for him. I think he has a mental disorder. Right. He had breakdowns on stage. He's been committed. I think he might be off his meds right now. I think that's where I think he's at. I don't know what the new song's all about. I think it's fucking crazy. I think he's somebody who's off his meds, who's already super confident, arrogant, cocky. You go, I mean, at that level where nobody could tell him what to do. Even when he was starting out, he wouldn't let people tell him what to do. No, he was that kind of guy. And I think when he has a mental disorder, you know what I mean? He probably has illusions of grandeur. He's at that level where nobody could fuck with him. Yeah. So, and I think he's off his meds. He's probably losing it. He's ranting about Trump. He's ranting about slaves. He's like, I'll drop whatever. I'll drop this scat verse, and it's gonna set the universe on fire. Right. Watch. And he's wrong. You're wrong, Kanye. You're fucking get back on your meds. I don't think it's a publicity stunt. I don't think he needs to do that. I think I don't know. That's what I think. I think he's fucked up. Yeah. And I hope, and it's it's entertaining to watch, and it's almost scary, but this dude could be dead in a week,
no, absolutely. Has anybody got him in the death pool? I don't think anybody has him in our funeral.
You know what? I considered having him the last 2 years, but yeah, I think he's like on a ledge, who knows what he's gonna do, and shit, but it's entertaining as shit.
Yeah, it's interesting, But yeah, enough of that. So as people know, this is a cooking show, so I do want to give you some shouts out. As you do when we are in BDC Studios, you usually cook, and you made a bomb-ass brisket. But it's a little different because you made it on your new grill that you just recently got. Yes, so why don't we talk about that? Because I know you're pretty fucking pumped about it.
I'm pretty pumped about it. All right, so before I had an electric smoker. It was a master built. It's only 2 years old. Me and Camus got it together.
You smoked a lot of meat.
I smoked a lot of meat on there. And I liked it. To me, it didn't have the same flavor as like a charcoal smoker or, a pellet smoker, but I did like it. But then I also had a small propane grill, and then I had a side-by-side propane grill and charcoal grill. So for almost everything, I use the charcoal grill. I rarely use the propane grill. Every now and then we do like 4 burgers,
right?
Cook those quick on. Everything else.
Yeah, it is nice to have like a propane grill for that, especially like if you want grilled food. Did you ever get like a hankering for like grilled chicken breasts like in December or something? You know,
yeah.
And you don't want to do like the coals, like JPags and I, a couple days ago, we grilled out steaks. So we grilled out like 4 steaks and some like deer tenderloins just to have like the next day for like beef and noodles and shit like that. And so it was just the steaks, but it's not wasting the coals, but to do that much coals, and the steaks don't technically take that long to cook.
If you got a chimney, like I got a chimney starter.
Yeah. So it doesn't take that long to cook, so it kind of sucks to do that. But I would still rather have a good steak on charcoal over, over like propane and stuff like that. But again, if you just want like, like I work from home, so I get a half-hour lunch. So it'd be nice if, go start it up and just propane and let it go and just throw on a steak really quick if I want it for lunch or something. I can't do that. So there are like pros and cons with it, but again, overall charcoal hands down is way better to cook on.
It's the way to go, man.
Yeah.
And I like the whole experience. I love everything about it. And but anyway, so I started looking at getting it. My grill's been... I've had the same side-by-side. It's a big grill. Like I said, there's...
Yeah, I've helped you move that thing. It's pretty old.
Half of it... There's one section of it that's propane. The other half is charcoal. So I'm like, I need to replace it. I started looking at grills, and the ones that are really popular right now are the barrels with the smoke box attached to the side of it.
Okay.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, I know exactly what you're talking
Oklahoma Joe's makes a good one. Char Grill makes a good one. Everybody's making those. Those are what are popular. That's what we have at work. The good thing about those is you could use the big barrel. You got a ton of surface. You could throw that charcoal on there. You could do that, or you could just have that cold, have your meat in there, and then I have the smoke box with charcoal, and then you could. The thing with that is you could throw as much wood chips on there as you want. You can get as smoky as you want. The bad thing about that is you're constantly checking the charcoal. You're constantly checking your wood chips, or wood chunks, or whatever you're using, and then it's hard to monitor. You're not putting a lot of heat in that box, so you could smoke. So a lot of times at work, we would smoke the shit out of stuff, finish it in a roaster, finish it in the oven, kind of thing. So I was looking at that, and I'm like, I don't know. So I looked at my options, and then I started looking at pellet grills, and shit. I mean,
there's a ton of people who love that. We've talked about them how many times on the podcast already, but they're fucking great.
I hit up one of my Army buddies. I hit up Thomas Beeman. I talked to a few different people, and they said, another buddy from work from another firehouse, and he's the thing with those is if you're not familiar with those. It's electronic, so you plug it in, and what it is there's a light, a fire in there, and it has an auger and a box that holds wood pellets, compressed wood pellets. You get them in different flavors: hickory, apple, pecan, oak, combination. The same as wood chips or chunks. You just fill that hopper up with pellets. The auger pushes it into the fire in the burn box, and it creates heat and smoke.
Yeah, and it's a good constant the way that, because they're all like packed down. I mean, they do a pretty damn good job. So, and they haven't been around for very long. I mean, we're talking like 5-6 years maybe.
That's
like
when they started getting big. Yeah,
big on the scene.
My other buddy who had one 5 years ago, he bought a Traeger right off the bat. And I was like, I heard about Traeger on Epic Mealtime, and then my buddy got one, and he's like, "Oh, I love it."
I remember when we lived at our old place, and we some of JPAG's old co-workers, they were saying that they got one, and that's the first time I heard it, and then like.
Meston got one.
Yeah, Meston got one. Vito got one. Beeman got one. There's a lot of people. Oh, yeah. I think like even Rob has one now. Like we would like to have one too, just to get like a smaller one. But we also like our charcoal grill, and there's only so much room on our deck. So.
Yeah, no, I hear you. So I started looking into those, and what's good about those is they adjust from. So I ended up going with the Pit Boss. The Pit Boss.
Which I haven't even heard of that brand. That's the good thing about them blowing up is, I mean, you create competition. So I mean, there's a Traeger, Green Mountain are probably the two most popular.
Yeah.
And then like Pit Boss, is that like a local?
No, it's just So you have your brands that are around 500. Then you have your 1,000. Then you have 1,500. Then you have your like Yoders and your $2,000 ones. Which, if you're doing competition, you go with like a Yoder or a high-end Traeger. But Traeger's probably around 1,000. And then where I'm at, the Pit Boss, they're anywhere between 500 and 800. So that's what I decided to do. The same type grill from Traeger might have been 1,200. And I didn't want to spend that much on a...
Yeah.
Because I could have got the side-by-side barrel for 300.
Right, but if you're just like starting out with it and stuff like that, I mean, I know you like smoke a lot of meat, but you don't do any like type of competitions and stuff like that.
No.
So
And what I started when I looked at the pellet grills, what I started looking at is you could do everything on it. So I talked to my buddy Jay Murda. I talked to Beeman. I didn't talk to Maston, but I talked to a bunch of people, and they said, yeah, I use it for everything. Because you could use it as an oven.
Oh, yeah.
You could use it to cook steaks. You could use it to smoke at 200 degrees.
Yeah.
It has a setting that goes from just smoke, like low heat, 190, all the way to 500. And it ramps up there pretty quick, within 20 minutes. It's like a propane.
Yeah, it is fucking quick. Dane Peterson, who's been on the podcast before, he just got one recently.
Oh, no
too.
shit.
Yeah, he got a Traeger. It's on his Instagram. You guys go follow him. It's at Dane Magic for everything. Twitter,
Shouts out Dane
Instagram,
Magic. He's been on the podcast.
Snapchat. We've talked a million times, but it's his best social media. So shouts out to him. But yeah, I think
Dane's Kitchen.
Yeah, he's done a pizza. He's wings.
Oh yeah.
I'm hoping he does. I'm hoping his next Dane Kitchen is using the grill.
Shit.
So I know he's in absolute love with it as well. This is just over the past couple weeks that I think he's got it. So yeah, I mean that's just fucking great.
Yeah. So far I've cooked on it 4 times and I've had it for like 7 days. So it works awesome. So I started off. I did chicken wings. The day I bought it, I bought some competition pellets that had a mixture of like apple, hickory.
It's probably like
oak.
cherry,
Yeah.
oak, semen, apple. Yeah, like all of that. So
Gotta get that salt content. So I got that, and I did some wings, and it's a cooking show. So I did wings, and then a few days later, I did legs and thighs. And I like to do a marinade that consists of Italian dressing,
hell yeah,
hot sauce like Frank's or Red Devil, doesn't matter. A little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of Worcestershire.
oh my
You
god,
let that soak in a gallon bag. I keep the skins on because I keep it real.
yeah, absolutely.
You let it soak in there, preferably for 24 hours, no less than 3 hours. The thing is, you have to pat those dry because you want to get it crunchy.
Okay, so when you take them out, you pat them.
I use paper towels and I pat my chicken dry, or else they might not get crunchy.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So you pat it dry and then you throw a rub on it.
Okay.
And I know it sounds like excessive, but if you want shit to taste good, you have to do it. The other trick is for that, whether it's charcoal or like a pellet grill or anything like that, the lower temperature, you're cooking it slower, especially with the pellet grill, you're getting more smoke on it. But if you cook it too low, you're not getting it crisp on it.
Okay.
So I've been messing around. Like I said, I've only used it a few times. I cooked it. I think I put smoke on it for like the wings, maybe 45 minutes. No, for the wings was less because they're smaller. 30 minutes. And then I bumped it up to 350 and finished on there.
Oh, nice.
I did the same thing with the chicken wings, the Italian dressing, hot sauce, a little bit of soy sauce, a little bit of Worcestershire. Marinated it, patted it dry, threw a dry rub on there. And then I smoked those for an hour. And then I bumped the heat up to 300 or 350. And I kept turning it, put a mop on there with barbecue sauce. There's some chicken upstairs too.
Oh,
we'll have some chicken.
We'll have to get it. What kind of dry rub was it? Just like one?
It was like I don't. Sometimes I'll make mine, and if I make mine, it's just like salt, pepper, a little bit of cayenne, some paprika for the red color, and brown sugar.
A little bit of breast milk.
A little bit of breast milk, a little bit of brown sugar, stuff like that. I keep it pretty simple. Some people just go salt and pepper,
Right.
but a lot of times I'll just buy like a KC. What is it? Is it fucking KC? It's a red label.
Right.
Rub,
Right. Yeah.
dry rub. And that one's it's pretty good.
Yeah, I thought that's ahead of what you've done, so I didn't know if it was like a specific one because you could buy specific ones for certain meats and shit like that.
Sometimes I'll make a rub. Other times I'll just spend $5 and buy.
I make a rub too, but
prove it. Prove it.
rub.
So I also did some pork loins. Those were pretty good. So then I bought a brisket because I knew we were going down this weekend. So I bought a 15-pound brisket. I trimmed it. I threw some spicy brown and a little bit of normal mustard on there.
Yeah, you did.
And then I threw the rub on and I put it in the fridge. And then I was at work. So Camus, I prepped the grill. Camus put it on at 10 o'clock at night. I got off work this morning at 7. Checked it. Fucking temp. Set it at 250. The temp is, every time I looked at it, the temp was between 240 and 250. I mean, it's right there.
Nice.
It's almost like cheating.
Right. Yeah.
You don't have to add heat. You don't have to add wood chips. Literally, I didn't barely, other than put a mop on it a few times.
Right.
I could have just left it for 15 hours, and it's cheap. It's cheap.
That's crazy.
You know, and I do miss some of that stuff, like just adding wood chips or whatever.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
but
I mean, that's
you don't
what-
always have that time.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
No, absolutely. I get it. And that's what we've talked about. My brother Vito, like, that's what he did. I mean, he has like Traeger, and he actually think he just bought like a third grill. That's like just a
Nice.
different way of smoking. It's like a grill, and I don't remember what exactly it is, but next time he's on, we'll definitely go super deep into all that. Because I mean, they're starting to do competitions and shit like that,
shit.
and they just recently went to like a local flea market and. They did like a bunch of like pork ass, and then they took pre-orders for ribs, and they made some money. Like, I mean, I don't think it was a lot, but they didn't lose money. And, you know, again, they don't do it to, you know, try to make a bunch of money just to get better and stuff like that. And I think even if you break even at that point, you know what I mean? Like, it's a win. So they came out ahead a little bit. So, so shouts out to those guys. It's Beeman, Vito's father-in-law. There's another guy. There may even be a couple other guys in there, but there's No Witness Barbecue. We've talked about them a couple of times. So, and we're gonna try to go to a competition with them and, you know, go along with the whole process. Do chunks. I think that'd be a real fun podcast. It's, you know, at some point,
man.
you know, get up more and then just do like an end podcast with them all or something. That'd be a fucking blast. So
Because no matter what you're using, there's still a lot of prep work that goes in. I wasn't sure if I was going to get a brisket for the right price. I'm not paying over $3 for brisket.
Yeah.
The thing is, brisket's such a shit piece of meat. You know what I mean? That's why you have to cook it. There's no other meat you have to cook for 15 hours to make it taste good. It's a shit cut of meat, but it's getting more and more popular because of, you know, people are enjoying.
Yeah, people can do like I could do something like that. I'm not. Like, I've never done it, and you know, with a pellet grill, I could do it myself. You know.
Yeah. So
definitely.
Now they were up around $5.
Jeez.
So then I went to 2 stores. They weren't, and then I went to this wholesale place that we go to at work, and I got it for $2.69, which isn't cheap, but it's better than $3.99 at the store down the street. So my backup plan was I was gonna do a whole chicken, and I was gonna brine that, and then I was gonna do a pork butt, and I just figured. We cook
pork ass, you mean?
Pork ass. I was gonna smoke both of those and then just half both of those up, throw them in the deep freeze. But no, anyway, like the whole process, even before you start cooking, you know, the prep work, the drying or putting stuff in a brine or trimming the fat and getting it the way you want, like. It's just fun, man. You know, like
it is. I've been getting into cooking a lot more, and honestly, a part of it has to do with this podcast, and you know, seeing like how much like I help you out usually, like when we're doing our nachos, and then you know, like always hearing, you know, learning from Vito, and I mean, I always like when I lived with Rob, he always did the cooking, you know, and just. Seeing the enjoyment and it is nice and it helps JPEGs out too. So, but I mean, just like grilling steaks and
oh my
like,
god, dude, that's my favorite. I have yet to, like I told you, I did a brisket, I did 2 pork loins, and I did chicken wings, and I did legs and thighs. I have yet to do a steak, and that's what I eat a lot of steaks. So I'm anxious to try that out. To have that wood flavor, the smoke flavor on there, and.
Yeah, I'm fucking pumped because we still got a lot of deer steaks from my deer last year, and then we get like her parents always get like a cow and split it between you know, us and then like her 2 brothers and them, and so we still have like shit with the steaks that we just cooked. They were ribeyes that we cooked up. They were from like 2016 that I just forgot that were in there, you know. And so they were so fucking good. I'm like, we need to. I mean, we probably shouldn't have waited 2 years to cook them, but they're still fucking money. Yeah, you know. And like her, like the way that she preps them, we usually prep them and they sit over 24 hours and. Like all the fucking whatever she puts on it. I mean, there's garlic, there's some type of like mustard. That absolutely. You know, all the seasoning. That couldn't think of that word. That she does. It's the Zima.
Zima's kicking in.
But all the prep work, and like I said, they usually set for over 24 hours, and it's just so fucking good. And then like I got out 2 packs and I was just like feeling around. I'm like, this just feels like one big steak. So I got another pack. Well, there was 2 steaks in each, and so we each had the steak, and then I ate the deer the next day. But then we just cut up that steak and just made like beef and noodles, you know, with some spinach noodles and stuff. It was fucking delicious. God, it was so fucking good. And I know you said or I had texted you a picture, but we made, speaking about, like working together and shit, we made a fucking bomb-ass meatloaf.
I wrote that down.
Yeah, yeah. It was probably last month or so at this point. But
show me a picture of it.
Yeah, yeah. It's a bacon wrapped meatloaf, and it was fucking great because we did half deer, half beef. So we fucking did the loaf, and then we did a bacon weave, hardcore ass bacon weave. Put it there, and then there was I don't remember what all was in the sauce that was over it, but I know it was like an apricot or. Is that how you pronounce it? Yeah. It's like preserve. It looks like jelly, but like that shit. There's like some honey mustard in there, and that was over the top. Oh my fucking god, it was so good. Even like the next day, it was beautiful.
Real quick, if I was listening to the podcast as a fan, I would gamble and I'd be like, what's the over-under, or how many times they're going to say semen during the podcast? Because we're at like 4.
Yeah, absolutely. Which seems kind of high for us. This early?
That's higher this early? Yeah,
this early. Yeah. I mean, we're 30 minutes in or so? 30 minutes in,
and we've said semen like 7 times. That's high. That's above our average, but I don't think it's excessive.
No, you can never get excessive with semen.
2 things. Steaks. Probably my favorite. Oh, my favorite. Ribeye is my favorite. And then my go-to, one of my favorite comfort meals is meatloaf.
Oh,
and yeah. I love meatloaf. I can do a basic meatloaf, or like you talking about apricot rubs and fucking bacon weave on top of that, man. That sounds so fucking good, dude. Meatloaf, and that's one of the things where when I was a kid, it's like you don't want fucking meatloaf. No. I didn't want a pot roast.
No, it's a loaf of meat.
Yeah, I want McDonald's. Like what? Yeah, meatloaf now is like, oh shit. You get gravy, mashed potato, some corn, fucking some like some buns or whatever, rolls, dinner biscuits.
Yeah, it is. That is. I don't even remember because I remember being younger, and I think probably everybody can. They're like, fuck, mom's cooking meatloaf again. God.
Yeah.
I don't want to fucking eat that shit. That. So weird, but then when you get older. And it's just like, I was going to say it's no different than a hamburger. It is way different than a hamburger. Yeah. But when you think about it, I mean, I don't know. It is fucking weird just how shit like that goes. But yeah, I would agree. I love a good meatloaf. You can never go wrong with meatloaf.
No, you can't. And yeah, you can keep it basic or you can add like shit like that or whatever. We did one at work once where we went excessive with it, but we put in the middle of it, we put pepperoni, we put artichoke hearts. I think somebody put olives. I don't fuck with olives really, but I didn't mind it too much. We put blocks of cheese in there. But yeah, you can do whatever the fuck you want with meatloaf. I like a good glaze on my meatloaf. Dude.
Yeah.
I like to do a glaze with a little bit of ketchup, a little bit of mustard, and then a little brown sugar.
Glaze is a synonym for semen.
That's about 8, ladies and gentlemen. That might be a record. We'll let the fact checkers let us know.
Yeah, absolutely. Where's our fact checker? We don't have one in.
Fuck,
Cam!
Yeah. Wake up. Earlier, you said something, and you were talking about chicken breasts. You were talking about throwing chicken breasts on or chicken titties, whatever, on the grill.
Yeah.
Dude, and I don't know if you know this or not, but I don't really fuck with chicken breasts anymore.
Oh, really?
I've been going with boneless chicken thighs.
Oh. Is that where it's at?
Oh my god, dude, it's a fucking game changer. So chicken breast, it's good. It dries out. It's okay. They have boneless chicken thighs at the store.
Yeah.
A lot of times the same price. It's dark meat. It's greasy. You can overcook the shit out of it. It's still juicy as fuck. So like I hardly fuck with chicken breast anymore unless boneless chicken thighs are not there. If you don't believe me, you go to the store, get boneless chicken thighs. You fucking put a rub on them, marinate them, whatever. Throw them on the grill, chop them up. I'll use them for. I love to do bacon chicken wraps.
Okay.
I like that because everybody could dress it the way you want.
Right.
You have whatever kind of tortilla you want. You can put barbecue sauce on it. You can do buffalo sauce on it. You can do blue cheese. You can do ranch. Everybody can make their own thing.
Yeah.
For me, I don't give a shit what's on it. I'll make it however. But I like to do chicken, bacon, avocado. I'll throw some blue cheese crumbles on there, some feta cheese on there. I'll throw tomatoes on there because sometimes I used to fuck with tomatoes. Now I fuck with avocados. You know what? Now sometimes I fuck with both of them.
Hell yeah,
avocado and tomato.
Yeah,
and then you throw even more cheese, shredded cheese on top of the feta. But anyway, I like buffalo chicken wraps. And then a while back we did chicken gyros, and we did same chicken thighs, boneless chicken thighs. Put Greek seasoning on them, grilled them, pulled them off the grill, chopped them up. We made a tzatziki sauce let that sit for over 24 hours. Dude, chicken gyros. It's a new twist on chicken bacon wraps.
Dude, that fucking sounds delicious.
But no, trust me. Talk to JPEG. She's probably already ahead of the game.
Yeah, probably.
She's probably been feeding you chicken thighs you don't even know.
Yeah, probably.
But JPEGs, shouts out JPEGs. Boneless, I'm telling you, boneless chicken thighs, they just taste better.
Yeah.
If you're looking for healthy, they might, I mean, it's the dark meat. It's fattier. It might not be as healthy, but it's so much better.
I know she's been on a big kick to where she'll get like chicken. I think it's usually chicken breast, but she cooks it in the crock pot. So she'll just add like, what she wants, and then we'll just cook it for 8 hours. And then a lot of times we'll either just eat that for like supper the next day, or she'll just use it for something else that she's gonna cook. But in this way, she doesn't have to, fucks with it all, all day, and then it's like super tender and and still juicy and stuff like that. So that's we've been doing a lot of crock pot meals.
Crock pot, dude, I fucking always sleep on crock pot meals.
Yeah.
Other than chili. Camus is good with the crock pot. I just don't ever fucking think about it. But usually when I'm cooking, it's my day off.
Right.
So I have time to prep.
No, that makes sense. Or I can't remember. Are you an oatmeal guy?
No.
Oh, okay. Dude, we fuck it, and G loves it, but we make this crock pot oatmeal.
Okay.
There's different ways that you can do it. I mean, we've made like an apple. We're currently eating a peach one, and we'll usually do like a double batch. And we'll make it. It's made like with steel cut oats. I mean, there's like vanilla, peaches, like some type of cream cheese, brown sugar is so fucking good. And I usually will turn it on. It's 8 hours before I go to bed.
Yeah.
It's done when JPEX wakes up. She'll eat some, and Grayson fucking loves it. Like, the other day we hadn't had it for a while, and I made it, and he saw it as I was carrying him out, and as soon as he saw it, he's like, like he just like started shaking, was like so excited. Like, he fucking loves it. So I would suggest if anybody out there does like oatmeal, like seriously, just look up crockpot oatmeal recipes. They're fucking money.
Dude, I've never heard of it. No, and don't get me wrong, I don't dislike oatmeal.
Right.
I just don't usually fuck with it. You know what I mean? For a while when I was doing my healthy thing, when I was going to that gym, I was eating oatmeal, but I don't fuck with it. I know I probably should.
I like it way more in the winter.
You
like
fuck
for
with grits?
I love grits. The thing is I don't ever make them though. Like anytime that I get grits, if I'm out somewhere and I see it on the menu, I'll order it.
Okay.
Definitely. And I think we talked about this before, but because my dad, he loved grits, and so we ate a lot of it when we were younger. And then that was my staple in basic training. I had it every morning. Put a little bit of peanut butter in it, which is a little bit weird for some people. Stir it up. I fucking love grits. So I fucks with grits for sure.
Okay. Yeah, I would do the same thing, whether it's grits or oatmeal. I think I would just try to combine everything together. You get like a pancake or something. You throw peanut butter on it, throw oatmeal on it, throw a sausage on it, throw eggs on it, and just fucking eat it as fast as you can. Yeah, dude. No, you're onto something with this fucking crockpot oatmeal shit.
Yeah.
We should tell Kanye about this.
Yeah, absolutely. No, I'm telling you, man. We make it. I mean, it's at least, I would say, once a month. Definitely once every other month. And I mean, it'll last a couple weeks. As I think I had said last podcast or whenever it was, I mean, I eat an egg sandwich like every day, but like if I'm in a bind, say if I don't wake up later, or if G wakes up a little bit earlier than normal and I don't have time to make an egg sandwich, or we got the oatmeal, absolutely. I mean, a lot of times I just when I make his oatmeal, and I warm it up, I put a little bit extra because Daddy's gonna get fucking. I'm gonna start eating.
Oh yeah.
I just refer to myself as Daddy. How douchey is that?
I always consider myself Daddy.
Yeah, of course. I call you Daddy. It's weird.
It's mandatory. It's in his contract.
But yeah, so it's fucking great. But yeah, I would definitely suggest it, dude. And especially that first day, like that it's cooked. You wake up and JPEX always has it out of the crock pot and it's like still warm.
Yeah.
It's like the perfect temperature by the time I get to it. So I'm like, it's fucking phenomenal. So
God damn.
Yeah.
That does sound good. You throw peanut butter in that shit?
I haven't with that, but I mean, like I said, everything that's in it is so good that I mean, you don't have to add anything, and it's perfect because you get like I know there's a lot of people who like in crock pots they'll use like the crock pot liners so they don't have to wash it. We never do that.
What the fuck? What kind of people do that shit?
I've seen it a lot for like if we had like food day like at work or something. People this way like they can just take their crock, they don't have to worry about trying to clean it before they go home or whatever. whatever. And I had mentioned the face that you're making. I wish people could see, because I asked JPEG, I go, hey, have you ever thought about using crockpot liners? And she just fucking looked at me. She goes, no, elbow grease will clean it just as well. And I just fucking busted up laughing. I was like, you right. I'm sorry I brought it up. I'm a bitch for sure.
Yeah, crockpots are the easiest thing to fucking clean.
Yeah, you just let them soak for 10 days and then clean it. That's what I do.
It's a soaker. We'll get into it next week.
But, yeah, but anyway, so you just give like a good spray, and it's the way that it sits up, and she shuts it off, and then she just takes it right out. It rarely ever sticks in there, like with the crockpot that we have. So I would definitely suggest it. Maybe just make like a small one if you're not really too much. See how you like it and go from there.
Dude, I've never heard of this. Like, I'm excited about it.
I'll have her send a couple of recipes that we have and send it your way.
Yeah, have her people send it to my people.
Yeah, we'll do.
Yeah, that sounds fucking good, dude. Man. And yeah, I think you're right. You have to go with like the steel cut oats. You don't go with the quick oats.
No.
I do fuck with oatmeal scotchies. I don't know if you ever fuck with oatmeal scotchies.
It sounds familiar.
The cookie.
Oh, I'm thinking of definitely not. I was thinking of what's the fucking Rice Krispie one? Scotcheroos?
Scotcheroos.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Scotcheroos is one of my favorite desserts.
The fucking peanut butter on the bottom and then the chocolate on top.
Yeah.
Fucking good.
Scotcheroos are one of my favorites.
Yeah.
Oatmeal scotchies, they're fucking great. And the recipe is on anytime you buy like the chips for butterscotch morsels or chips or whatever you want to call them. They're on the back.
Oh. And I don't think I've ever had them. No.
They're good, dude. The only problem is it's kind of tough to make, man.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So, and I only say that because you're mixing a bunch of fucking oatmeal in there.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So the basic recipe is it's everything. Everything. So you do like salt, sugar, brown sugar. You mix all the dry ingredients, which is everything, and then all your wet ingredients. It's like 4 eggs, 4 sticks of butter, vanilla extract.
Yeah.
And then you mix
lard.
Yeah. It's baking soda. Like everything you have, and everything goes into that.
Damn.
So you mix your dry ingredients with wet ingredients, and then you mix in whatever, a bunch of peanut butter, and then you start mixing in like 8 cups of oatmeal, quick cut or the steel cut oats. Okay. So then you mix all, and the recipe calls for, I always double the recipe. The recipe calls for butterscotch morsels. Since I double the recipe, you need 2. But instead of doing 2 things of butterscotch morsels, I do 1 thing of chocolate, like I don't know, what is it, the bittersweet chocolate chip.
Yeah.
So you have a little bit of chocolate in there.
Oh.
But yeah, you just mix all that up, and then by the time you're mixing all the peanut butter, all the sugar, the brown sugar, the butter, the baking soda, the eggs, the butter, all that shit, and then you start mixing in 8 cups of fucking oatmeal. Jesus. You got to swap out, dude.
Right? Yeah.
We got a bunch of fucking beefcakes at the firehouse. We're like, swap out. You're fucking. It's concrete.
Oh,
and then I make it into bars, just like Kanye. But I make like Kanye. I make bars. You don't have time for cookies, so we just make a whole pan. You press it down. You throw in the oven, and it's fucking. Oh my God.
I mean, if I have had them, it's been like decades since I've had them. So
check it out. They're so fucking good.
Yeah.
You got it's a cookie, but you have oatmeal in there, and then you got the chocolate chips, you got the butterscotch, and you got peanut butter in there, and it's fucking good. We'll eat it, throw it in the fridge or throw it in the freezer, pull it out the next day. Fucking eat. Oh, it's one of my favorites. It's not easy to make.
Speaking of cookies, my grandma used to make this cookie. Now I don't know where the name comes from, but we always called them mascuthas. And again, I don't know where that name comes from. I've never heard it anywhere else but from my grandma. You can find the recipe online, but you just have to Google Italian S cookie.
Okay.
And but it's just like it's recipe that my grandma. It's not that she came up with it. She had like a recipe, but she like tweaked it to her own.
Okay.
But they're perfect. It's a really like sweet cookie.
Okay.
And you make them into an S, and so that's why they're like S
like
cookies. But they're like, it's weird because they're great with coffee. Like to have them in the morning, just like dip in your coffee, and it's like they're soft, but they're crumbly. So it's like weird.
I think I know kind of like
right.
What would you call that? Not a cream, but fuck. I think I know what you're talking about. Like a puff.
Yeah, kind of. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Something like. But it's so weird because you bite into it, they're soft, but then it just like crumbles.
Yeah.
It's
I know what you're talking
weird
about.
as fuck. But anyway, I just remember growing up with that. My grandma would always make them, and we wouldn't have them all the time.
Okay.
And I'd always said that I just wanted to learn how to make them to keep the tradition going because there's really nobody else that makes them. You know, in our family. And like 2 years ago, my grandma was like, well, I'll have Jen come down and I can show her and you guys can continue it.
Yeah.
And we finally got to it. And it was like a couple weekends ago that we went down there and hung out with my grandma and grandpa. And it was JPEGs, G, and I. And Jen, she learned how to make them. And I mean, my grandma, when she makes them, she always makes them in a double batch. So there's fucking a ton. Like she had to specially order the biggest bowl her kitchen aid has. And it was like, I mean, I'm sure it's fucking, the bowl was expensive as shit. You know,
for sure, dude.
And so she always makes it, and she adds like extra vanilla and extra sugar. They're the best, man. And so like, and she like it's like one of I actually think the recipe is still in my car right now.
Okay.
Like I could get it for you. You can look at it. And because she like hand wrote out the recipe and then like gave it to us. So now, which I think is just cool that like my wife learned something from my grandma that we can continue on. Hopefully G will, you know, continue it on, and they're fucking phenomenal. And it was funny because she was, JPEGs was pissed off because, I went out to Colorado last month to go visit Mikey. Well, my mom and my other grandma, so my mom's mom, and then like I think it was like her sister and then my great uncle Pat, they went out to see Mikey and he rode back with them. And then I went up, picked him, and then I just took him out back home. And so my grandma made him for like our trip and to have out there. And we got out there. I like took a picture of it and I sent it to JFax, and she's like, "You son of a bitch." She's like, "I want one of those cookies." And so then I like start talking to my grandma. I'm like, "Well, let's do it this weekend. We'll be back at Works." And so it's fucking awesome. The cookies are phenomenal. I mean, there's like Crisco, there's like so much shit for you. But they're so great. So, and the best part, what I like about it is, like I said, you eat them with coffee. And you know, like a lot of times if you have something that you dip in coffee, I feel like you have to like hold it there. Like you don't, like you just dip, like don't even leave it in there for a second. And then it like soaks it up, but it like holds it just long enough. You bite into it. God damn, like it's so fucking good.
That sounds good, dude.
Yeah, and we have like 4, and the best part is my grandma always puts them in like it's like a gallon zip, you know, fucking Ziploc bag. And then by the time you get to the bottom, there's like, you have to fish through like half a bag of crumbs to find the one solid cookie. But you still eat the crumbs. You still fucking are a savage. You reach in there, you scoop it, you're like eating like a raccoon. Like,
dude, I feel like I know I've had something like that before.
I'm
but
sure
it's been a long time.
Yeah, I'm sure you have, and I'm sure other people have them. I just don't ever remember seeing them anywhere else, or any place other than, you know. And I don't even. I'm sure my grandma told me, but I don't remember where she got the recipe for it or whatever. But I'm just fucking glad to have the recipe. It's fucking phenomenal. So,
yo, why are you babysitting that Zima?
It's not good.
We got
we got 10 more.
Drink.
Yeah, you've been done with yours for a while.
Yeah, dude.
So, well, why chug this?
Yo, Zima, we're just fucking around. It's delicious. Hit us up. We'll consider sponsoring you.
It's really not all that bad, but I couldn't have more than one.
No, I think it's pretty shitty. It's pretty bad. It's not that good. It's bad.
I just think it's
like,
so...
what if all beer tasted like that? Like, you'd had to get used to tasting that citrus, like, water beer.
I mean, I can't get used to beer.
It's too sweet, man.
So, yeah, that's the problem with
too
it.
Sweet.
It's very sweet.
And my friend, I put a shout out in the group text earlier. I took a picture of the Zima. And I said, yo, I missed Cinco de Mayo because I was at drill. So I'm turning up this weekend. Everybody's like, oh, shit. Like, have fun. Be safe. And my buddy's wife told me to put get Jolly Ranchers and put an apple Jolly Rancher in one.
Yeah.
And I was like, maybe that wouldn't. And at the time, then this was earlier today, I had no idea what it tasted like.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, yeah, that sounds good. Now it sounds really good because that tastes like shit. I think you could add anything to that and make it better.
Yeah. Semen, probably. right, hold on. And done. But yeah, it's not great. And it's crazy, and I think it's just like a nostalgia thing, like how everything's like a nostalgia, like because it's funny because I don't know if you've gone through the celebrity death pool and looked at it, but my profile picture on there is me holding a Zima because I was at Vito's in-laws and they had one and they let me have one, and so like I took a picture because I think I even posted it on Twitter. I said getting crazy tonight, and that's when our buddy Fox, who's in the death pool, the Degenerates friend, or he's our friend too, but yeah, we know him from Twitter mainly. Well, you know him from Twitter mainly. I hung out with him a couple times, but he's like, oh, thanks for the invite, fuck, or whatever it was. But yeah, it's such a great picture. I had to use it for my celebrity death pool picture. So
yeah, I interact with Fox quite a bit on Twitter, and I've never met him, but I already know, like,
oh yeah,
we're good friends.
Yeah, like, he's a degenerate, right?
Oh, I could tell, man. I could tell, and I'm sure you could tell I'm a degenerate.
Yeah, absolutely.
By my tweets, so shouts out, dude. Hopefully we can meet one day and just talk shit about people like we do on Twitter.
Yeah, dude, he doesn't give a fuck.
No,
zero fucks. That's the best part.
Yeah,
like I mean, there's people who like I say I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
but there's people who really, really don't give a fuck in life, and like it's like him and like Ari Shaffir, or like that's, you know what I mean? Top people who give absolutely zero fucks, and I fucking respect that.
Oh, absolutely.
Do you
with social media and Twitter or any online, do you think you have to be more careful now?
I mean, yes and no. It kind of just depends on your situation. Like I definitely watch what I say on there. For sure. I mean, I still put out a lot of stuff. Like, I'll still say cunt and shit like that. I don't care about stuff like that. I try not to put a bunch, just because you never know. Like, if you have to get another job and people, like, search. But, I mean, people can't really just... I mean, my real name's not attached to my Twitter account, so I'm more loose on Twitter than I am, anywhere else for sure. I still think it's good to be there because without throwing any people under the bus, there are people who may be in like a custody battle or something like that, where it's come back to bite them in the ass, and shit like that. So I 100% think, depending on your situation, you do. But if you're somebody, again, like I had mentioned Ari Shaffir, if you don't know who that is, he's just a comedian. I mean, he's not just a comedian. He is a fucking phenomenal, great comedian. Yeah. But he literally gives zero fucks. He doesn't have to answer to anybody, so he just puts out whatever. So somebody like that, no, absolutely not.
Oh, yeah.
When he's not kicked off Twitter.
Yeah.
But, so yeah, I mean, I think it's probably smart not to put everything out there.
Yeah.
But again, when we have a podcast where we talk about the most fucking intimate parts about our lives, I feel,
Yeah.
and say shit we probably shouldn't, but,
fuck it.
Yeah. Fuck it, dude.
I feel like we're honest.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Yeah. No, I feel like now, in the day we're at, and the fucking climate we're in, yeah, I think you have to be more careful. I'm definitely more careful now.
Yeah.
I got called out on Twitter, I think, last year. We had guys on the job that got in trouble for posting shit. Mm-hmm. And this was around the Black Lives Matter, where for some reason people were like, those motherfuckers are terrorists and shit. Like, what? No, they're concerned about black people not being treated the same, but people are like, fuck them, and it's like, whoa. So we had a couple guys get in trouble for that, and good. One of them was a chief.
Yeah.
And it's like, fuck you, man. Like,
yeah, I mean, it does suck. Like, the way I see social media is I feel like it's the equivalent of going into a room full of people that are there and you're just yelling shit to get a reaction.
Yeah.
I mean, I try, like, it is nice, like, to get likes and to get, like, on Twitter to get retweets and stuff. Like, and I've said it before, like, I've done a tweet where I'm like, oh, this is going to do good. Like, but a lot of it for me is, like, I hope people enjoy it as how I see it, not so much as for the likes. I mean, you still get that, like, adrenaline drip of, like, every time I, like, post a picture of my kid, I know it's going to get a lot of shit. I don't do it for that. Part of it is for, like, my mom who doesn't get to see it and stuff.
For sure.
It is kind of nice to see that stuff. But if I never got anything, I really wouldn't care. I don't think I'm addicted to it like that personally.
Yeah.
Again, with that saying, it is nice. But when I do put something out there that I think is super fucking funny and it doesn't get anything, I do get aggravated. And I can't remember if I brought it up on here or not, but I did have a fucking great tweet that I thought as I was coming back. I think it might have been from here one night, and I was listening to music, and DMX song came on, and it was what's the name of the song where he names like all the chicks, what these bitches want?
What these bitches want?
Yeah. And so I was like funny, and my tweet was all of DMX's bitches, and I listed out every name that he said because it's an old fucking school song, and if I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw that, I'd been like, that is hilarious.
Yeah.
Nothing.
No shit.
Didn't get anything. And I was like, was I mad? No. In the grand scheme of things, I wasn't upset, but I was just like, I was proud of that too. Like, that's funny. And I'm sure a million other people have done it a million times before I did. But when you read it out, like all of DMX's bitches, and you're just reading names, comma, and then you get to my favorite part, 3 Kims. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, come on. I think maybe Joey liked it, but that motherfucker likes everything that I put out. So
yeah, but you know what? Like, sometimes you drop heat like that, and people just don't see it.
Yeah.
You know, you don't see it.
Which is fine. So, but I like to use it as like, you know, I use Twitter a lot for like news. Like,
absolutely.
Like there's a school shooting today in Texas.
I didn't find out that till just a few hours ago.
Yeah, I found that out like on Twitter. So, you know, like I use it a lot for that, but a lot of it I follow like a lot of funny people. Most of my retweets are something that I find funny or something like, you know, maybe that I'm into, like a Philly D video or something. You know, something like that. But I would say 90% of the stuff that I either like or retweet is because it made me laugh in some way.
Oh, for sure.
You know, made a funny point. So,
yeah.
But
to me, and I kind of got away from some of the other social media just because there's so much.
Yeah.
So I got away from Snapchat. I still have Facebook, but I kind of got away from Facebook. But I'm on the gram, and I'm on Twitter all the time, and then I check the gram a couple times a day. But the gram, to me, is so gold because of the memes, and it's so fucking funny.
See, I don't use Instagram like that. Like that's what like I see a lot of like the funny stuff is usually like for me is like through Facebook or like Twitter.
Okay.
I know you follow like a lot of funny stuff because you'll send me shit, which is hilarious, and I will go through it every once in a while. Yeah. But honestly, I probably use I use Instagram more for like world stuff. Like I follow like Discovery Ocean, Nat Geo, like a lot of that stuff. And while we're on it, Instagram needs to unfuck themselves. They need to fucking change it back to where the algorithm is all strictly timeline and not what's popular.
Oh, for sure.
You know what I mean? I don't like it when I go in there and then maybe I see something from like 3 days ago.
No.
Like because I like, if I want to scroll, then I know like the last picture that I saw or whatever. So, and I've looked in the settings. I know they had changed it a while back. Yeah. Back to that, and I loved it. And I don't know if I couldn't find anywhere in the settings, but I didn't look that hard. But if you could like fucking change that to where it's just strictly time, like that's the best that it is. And so I do like that. I don't sometimes when I'm like super faded at home, I'll go through the Instagram stories and watch them, but I like follow so many people. There's a lot of like Bert Kreischer, he updates a lot. And so, but like he's super funny and he's great at it. And so like I tend to watch him quite a bit on his Instagram stories. You know, I follow the Suicide Girls, you know, a lot of them are pretty hot. So I mean, you can get sucked down that type of like Instagram, like if you use Instagram just for hot chicks, but you gotta take a break from that shit, man. That's like too much sometimes.
Yeah, dude. But and I used to like I followed a bunch of hot sluts on the gram, and God bless them.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. No, good kids.
but then I was like, yeah, you know, whatever. So now I'm on. So the gram for me is I got people like friends that I have. They show pictures, whatever. Most of those. Whatever. But there's like I follow the earth stuff, the wildlife stuff.
Yeah.
National Geographic type shit. But then there's so many just fire memes.
Oh yeah.
That the meme game. If I'm laughing my ass off looking at my phone, it's because of the gram. Because there's so much shit daily. That's just hilarious. You know.
If you guys hear a little sound, it's because there's a cat up on here and it might have queefed right into the microphone. Cat. I love your cats.
I know, they're crazy.
My mom just got a cat. Did you see that?
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah. Mama Pagnasty just got a cat.
Shouts out, Mama.
Yeah, she was just sitting there on her deck having morning coffee, and this cat just came up out of nowhere, and it looked mangy, and she fed it, and she just felt bad, so she took it into the vet, and she got it fixed, and it had a bunch of ticks, and they think it's probably he's 4 years old, and he said they've probably been on his own for like the last year. So she named him Rambo.
Rambo, that's a great name. Shouts out Mama P.
Yeah, I thought that was great. I like cats. J-Pax doesn't like them, but she's allergic to them. That's part of the reason. Okay. She also doesn't like that they mark, a lot of the places that bothers her. But it was funny. So like I didn't find out until I saw it on Facebook that she got Rambo. So I just posted a picture of Fred. It said new chew toy ? I said like thanks. So I'm pretty excited to meet that fuck. But yeah, dude, your cats are probably the best cat. I love
my cats
your cats, dude. They're
awesome,
great.
Dude. That's all love. Like I told you, my cat's injured. She's getting around pretty good now.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the nasties out there, like, what's wrong with your cat?
Well,
because they don't have real names, right?
Yeah, gray cat and orange cat. The orange cat, they go out at night now. The weather's nice. The other night, like if they're not in on time, they're locked the fuck out. Yeah. They know that. Sometimes they don't give a fuck. So anyway, I got up in the morning to go to work just a few days ago, and the orange cat is on the back deck trying to get in. I let her in, and she's like limping, like not even putting any weight on her leg. I'm like, oh, what the fuck? Like,
you think maybe she got nicked by a car or something?
No, I think she fell. That's my guess. I think if it was another animal, she would have more scratch marks.
Yeah. I definitely don't think it's another animal for sure.
She gets on the deck, and we have it blocked off.
Yeah.
And then she crawls around the gate, tiptoes around, and then gets on the stairs and goes down. So I think she might have fell, but it's been like bad. And I'm not taking her to the vet. She's gonna have to either just have 3 legs, which is more than I have. But no, the last
it's more than I have.
Yeah, and I'm doing just fine. I do just fine with 2.
That's fucking great.
But no, so she's been limping and
But she is
today
walking on it
she's walking on it. She's putting pressure on it. She's walking on it.
Yeah.
She's a little, you can tell, she's a little gimpy, but no, she's putting weight on it. She's going to be just fine.
Yeah, it wasn't.
She's going to be just fine.
It wasn't a serious. If she was seriously injured, you love that cat, you would have taken her. I know you. You don't think?
Know.
I think you would have. If not, I think Cam would have talked you into it.
No, Cam would not.
No? Put it down. She wouldn't have down.
I don't think she would. She wouldn't suggest to put it down, I don't think. But she came from the farm life.
Oh,
like
that's
they
true.
They kill animals and cows and horses and all that shit. She lays a fucking cat.
Yeah.
She'd be more likely to kill a cat than I would. I'm like looking at it, inspecting it. I couldn't tell if it was the power of the leg. Mm-hmm. She's not going to tolerate me taping it up or splinting it or whatever. Right. I'm just like, she's going to have to deal with it. But today she's playing with it. Now she's hardly even limping. So no, she's good to go. But back to the gram. I love the gram.
Right.
It's great. I'm still on Twitter for news, for comedy, mostly for fun stuff. Like I don't get too political with it.
Dude, yeah, you don't. And I've said it once, I'll say it a million times. You don't tweet much, but fuck, man, when you do, it is fun. I get excited when I'm scrolling through my timeline and I see your picture pull up. Yeah. Sometimes I'll just I don't read it. I see it. I'm like, okay, give me a second. Like I look away and then I have to prepare myself because I know it's gonna be gold.
No, so. And I haven't been dropping heat lately. And Spencer called me out on it. Mm-hmm. He texted me and he's like, "Hey man, you all right? I haven't heard from you much. I haven't heard you on Twitter. I miss you." I was like, "Fuck, dude." Like I know I just been busy, man. Like army and work, and then my part-time gig.
That's the reason why. Because if you were tweeting every day, I'm sure it'd still be gold, but I wouldn't get as excited. I'd still look forward to it, but when I don't see anything for weeks, and then I'm like, yes.
but even then, with the climate now, I do you can't say shit like you used to say back in the day.
No,
you know what I mean. I feel like you can't put much heat on women.
Right.
You can't put much heat on homosexuals.
Right.
And I love women. Nobody loves homosexuals more than I do.
Right.
Nobody loves women more than I do.
Men.
Or maybe gay men. And Trump always says that. Nobody loves women more than I do. No, but I worry about that. And then with my job, guys have been getting in trouble. Like I said, I got called out. I said some shit about, I don't know, fuck the police or some shit.
Right.
And some guys went to some chief and was like, "Hey, check your guy. He's talking crazy on Twitter." And I was like, "No, I was off duty and I just said fuck the cops. I could say that. It's not illegal. I didn't,
See, that's the shit that pisses me off is when people fucking be snitching like that.
Yeah, right.
I get it if you want to
it was over the boxing, when there was the
yeah.
So
which
like
makes it even. That's way better context.
Right.
Than,
Right.
You know what I mean? I mean, I get it. If you're like going to hire somebody, you want to search them and you want to see if maybe they, said "fuck all black people" or something like that. You would probably want to. I get that. That's fine, and if that's your fault if you don't put your shit on private,
right.
and then you get pissed. So that's totally in their right. But to again, it's hard. Take shit out of context. Like, I'm sure, like, I haven't gone through my old tweets.
Oh my God!
I'm sure way back in my old tweets, I probably dropped the N-bomb somewhere. Not the ER for sure. But I'm sure I probably said it in like an ironic way, or maybe I was doing like a little Wayne lyric or something. There's 100% sure I have. And like, am I racist? Absolutely not. I do a podcast with a guy whose last name is Brown. Like, come on. But I mean, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but I do agree. And the other day, and I brought this up before, and I probably shouldn't do it. And I know, especially being like a white straight male in his early 30s, I use hashtag #MeToo ironically all the time.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Because I did it once and I didn't mean it. It was right when the Me Too thing started out, and I think I was talking to the degenerate like at work, and he had said something, and I was like, "Oh, I like that." Me too. Like, I also agree with that opinion. And joking, because we were talking in hashtags before that, so jokingly I did hashtag Me Too. I'm like. And then he put LOL. I was like, oh, yeah, that is kind of funny.
Oh, yeah.
So then I think I was responding to something, or I put something on Twitter, and I did the hashtag Me Too. But then when it comes up with that, it has like their own emoji or whatever attached to it, I was like, oh, I'm still not going to delete it because it's funny. But like, I was like, maybe I shouldn't do that because it is, like, I don't want to diminish that. You know what I mean?
No,
like,
I mean, it's a hashtag. It's public access. There's no rules on what you could use it for.
Yeah, agreed. But still, like,
no, and
I don't particularly want to look misogynistic on.
Oh, it's too late. It's too late. It's way too late.
Yeah, because that's what people think of me. I'm sure that's their first thought.
No, but you could take any. You could, if you took my Twitter and you started reading shit in a courtroom, like Mr. Brown on February 13th, you said, and they read out quotes and in court of shit I tweeted. I would look like a maniac. Yeah. But that would be
death
for everybody.
All white people.
But you know what I mean? Like, even,
100%.
Like, just jokes or whatever. I'd be like, and then my lawyer would be like, well, Mr. Brown was clearly joking on his tweet. But the jury would be like, this guy.
But that's the thing.
But everybody's like that.
Yeah,
you know?
I mean, that's the thing with, people, like, you can't joke about anything anymore either. Yeah. And, shit like that. Yeah. So it's a great question. Mm-hmm. And I have 100% over the past couple years for sure. And I'm also getting older, so I look at shit. And I've had Twitter I've had Twitter since 08.
Way before me. You put me on the Twitter.
Yeah. And so I'm sure way back then, I still always try to be like, respectful, and shit like that. Yeah. But like, as you said, you take everything out of context, or, you ever try to go back through and just read your old
I love it.
Old tweets. You're like, why would I even I don't
even know where these things came from, man. Like, I remember I went back a while back and I was reading shit that we were tweeting when we were in Cali.
Yeah.
And, I couldn't remember even what like some of the stuff meant, but I knew it was hilarious and shit like that,
Yeah.
But it's just I'm just more careful now because the people that know me know me.
Yeah.
And they know where my heart is and what I care and what I don't care about. Back in the day, you could. And I censor shit. I've done it before, where you would say something, and back in the day, I could just say fag.
Right.
Now I have to censor it.
Right.
And that's just where we live.
Right.
Like, everybody that knows me knows I have no hard feelings towards any race, any gender, any.
Right.
I don't give a shit if you like men, women, whatever, as long as you're a good person, that's. Right. But if you don't know me and you see me use fag, in a tweet, they're gonna be like, who the fuck? And they might get outraged, and then and then they find out I work for the city, and then they're calling the mayor, and it's like, I don't want that kind of heat.
Yeah, so it is smart to do that. And I mean, just think like with this podcast. I mean, that's a lot. I've had some people ask like, why don't you guys? And we've never talked about this, but why don't you guys use like your real names? Why don't you we're pretty like we talk about some fucked up shit, and we joke a lot, and it's a lot easier on a podcast to like tell tone and stuff. But if somebody were just to like listen to part of it, they're like, "Oh my god!" Like you hear what they're saying? Like it could be the exact same thing.
Oh, right, for sure.
But it's I don't know.
I just feel like we're all still trying to figure out the internet, and it's all it's. But yeah, sometimes it's a mess, Yeah. But, I love it. The internet's gold. It's everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's nice to take a break from it, too. Like when I said, I went out to Colorado, and I barely had my phone on.
Yeah.
Like I would just check it every once in a while and like scroll through and like return text messages. But, I'm going camping here in a couple weeks. I'm going to shut my phone off, and I'll turn it back on to make sure I keep my Snapchat streaks going, but other than that, I won't have it on, and it's definitely good to unplug for a long time. And
for sure,
it is like you said, we're still trying to figure shit out, and it's the rate of shit that's coming. I mean, just 10 years ago, like shit, we're like I joined Twitter in like December of 2008.
Jesus.
So. I've been, and even then I really wasn't for sure what it was, I mean, this is so new, and it's so much information at once, and it's good, especially if there's like a major disaster somewhere. There's fucking a school shooting every other day. Hawaii's fucking blowing up with lava, at this point. And so it's nice for that to get that information, but sometimes it's just like, fuck. You ever see something and you're like, I know I've seen it. I don't know where I've seen it or like where I heard of it. But, I feel like I know a little about a lot of things, and it's all from that. Like I can't maybe hold like an hour conversation about one particular thing in depth other than shit maybe that I've, me personally, or like maybe like the Army, because I did 8 years in the Army or something like that. You know what I mean? Yeah. But I can talk a little about, Hawaii blowing up. Do I know exactly specifically what island? What's going on? No, but I can tell you this shit's fucking blowing up. Yeah. And did you see the video that it ate of that time lapse where it ate that fucking car? No. Holy shit, the lava.
Oh, I don't.
It came across the street and just fucking.
I think I heard about it. But I didn't see it.
Oh, it's fucking beautiful. Tell you I've seen that, and just tell you all these stupid memes that I've seen and shit. But, but we've talked a million times. Memes are what keep the internet around, man. God, they're the fucking best.
Fucking so good.
They're the best, especially when anything happens and it's instantly
boom, and there's already memes about it.
Yeah, memes are like, we were talking earlier with Childish Gambino. He came out with "This Is America," which shouts out Gambino. That's a fucking phenomenal song, phenomenal video. Like I've seen it probably, no joke, 5 times, and there's still shit I'm catching that I haven't seen, like shit going on in the background and stuff like that. But like within a day, somebody took the first minute of that and dubbed "Call Me Maybe" over, and it lines up almost perfect. Like, come on, like, and I've seen that video probably 20 times. Like, because every time somebody shares it, I watch it because it's so fucking funny. So just people are quick, like this 10-hour scoopity poop poop.
Oh yeah,
like that's still going. Obviously,
shouts out Kanye.
This will be going for the next podcast. But it is. It's a weird world with it, and I wouldn't change it. I absolutely fucking love the internet, and I am definitely on it way too much. But it's nice. We do these podcasts, and I phone shut off. I don't ever fucking look at it. But as soon as we get done, we'll hug, shut this off, and I'll grab my phone. Yeah. And I'll turn it on just to see, because that's just the that's the way life is.
That's life, man. But it's. And me and Cam talked about it a while back, and she's like, she doesn't love it as much as I do. And I said, no. I said, baby, it's everything. I mean, it's the future. It's technology. It's information. It's information, and it's right now. Yeah. You realize just when we were kids, to get information, you would have to fucking...
Zima's finally done.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All right, 10 more. To get information, you'd have to go to the library. Go to an Encyclopedia Britannica. Now, bang, you get information you can fact check. No, there's good and there's bad,
and that's with everything.
With everything, for me, the good so much outweighs the bad. Yeah, are you kidding me? Like, it's not even close. Like, it's I think you just have to learn, like you said, you have to learn how to take breaks, and I've been doing that. Like, I'm not on my phone nearly as much as I used to be, and I don't have any games on my phone. I check Twitter and I check the gram. But for the rest of it, like I'm always on there fact checking.
Yeah.
Like we're talking about stuff or movies or actors or news or history, like war whatever.
And I love that because part of it, man, like way back in the day, and you probably, because you're a little bit older than I am, but I came up, like, I mean, I graduated high school in 05. So, I mean, that's like when YouTube like started in 05, you know what I mean? So, like, I had the internet for sure. You know, we had Google and stuff, but I didn't go through all of it like I think like you would have, you know, without the internet. And I still remember not having cell phones, you know, remember landlines and stuff like that for sure. But I mean, there was people like way back in the day that were perfect bullshit artists. You know, they could just go in and just bullshit about anything and you couldn't call them on it. But now anybody's like, wait a second, you know, you can Google fucking anything, you know, and find out. And so it's just that much information to know anything and everything that you want is just so crazy. Like when you actually think about it.
Oh yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, it's incredible.
And once the grid goes down, man, you gotta be learning to survive.
Yeah, you gotta have if you don't have your survival skills on point, like when the shit hits, it's hitting. Be ready.
We got to plan. I've talked to JPEGs about it. I've said if shit goes down, our goal is we kind of have a plan, but I was like, we need to get to this place because this is, you know, where our people are going to be. And,
our people?
Yeah.
Italians?
Hell yeah. Just follow the grease trail. But no, like, because both of our families are from, you know, the same area. So, you know, we just get here and I think, you know, dude, just get the fuck out the way.
Yeah. Yeah, no, dude. Yeah, we got a plan. We got a place to go. The boys read survival books. Yeah. They're into shooting and knowing what vegetation to eat and all that stuff, and they're all about it. They're all ready, you know. If it happens. Shit, it'll happen, but
we're still gonna be podcasting. May not post anywhere, but
yeah, we'll still be podcasting.
Could you imagine? Sure. I like to think of this shit every once in a while, and it's gonna get. It's gonna sound like I'm crazy.
We go anywhere you want, dude.
No,
we're in the fucking zone.
Like it's. I have this thing where, especially lately, I like to get super faded, and I think about that we're in a simulation. So,
I love that.
Right.
I love that.
So I have this thing to where, like, when I'm faded, I feel like I'm not me, and I know this doesn't make sense, but see if you could like follow along with me.
Okay.
So I feel like I'm not me, and I feel like somebody is like in charge of me, like we're in a simulation that somebody is controlling me and what I do, and that's how I view everything.
That's Jesus.
Yeah, of course. And so like even like when I watch, like I'll watch something and I'll like perfect example is this Kanye thing that we're talking about. Like when it was kind of breaking, I was watching some videos and people were talking about it, and then my brain, when I'm super faded and I'm thinking about it, will be like, man, the person controlling him just went off the rails today. You know, they're just like, oh, let's just, you know, you ever get like, you know, you're playing GTA, you're like, oh, let's just fucking just get in a car and just go insane. I'm like, that's what that person's doing right now in this game. Yeah. And I see life like that. And so like, oh, you know, when I'm gone, then they just jump up to like another character. Okay. But it's only when I'm super faded.
Yeah, like playing Madden and then you hit B.
Yeah.
And then you scroll through the characters.
Right,
and then you can control whoever you want.
Yeah, exactly. And so like seeing that shit.
You like, that's high, dude.
Dude, I go deep with it. But it makes me laugh when I see something like that. Like I'll be watching like you know, we've talked about it a million times, but I love Hot Ones. It is like if I would give up literally all of TV, everything else, I would choose Hot Ones over everything. That's honestly how much I love that show. Okay. I love Sean Evans and what he does, and I'll be watching that and the questions that he asks, and I'll just be like this person has done their research. They've done their research on the other character. Like, are they playing the other character? Because then I'll even think of, like, maybe one person's controlling, you know, more than, like, one person. I don't know. It's, like, super weird. And I don't remember the reason why I started this
I love it.
This original story. But, so that's just, like, where I go sometimes in my head. And it just will fucking crack.
We were talking about the apocalypse, and then you went on this.
Yeah, I don't fucking remember.
No, I love that, dude. I can't get high.
No, there was what the fuck were we talking about? There was something specific though.
We're talking about going to a place during an apocalypse. You're
Yeah.
talking about being with your people,
Which
which is highly suspicious.
Right.
Highly suspicious.
Right. Yeah. Nobody over the shade of eggshell white. Racist. Yeah, I don't. I've had like one drink too. That's the thing. I'm not even faded.
That
right.
Zima, dude. Is
Yeah,
kicking
I'm
in.
not even.
You think 5% alcohol's a fucking joke? It says not a joke, sir. You think it's a wine cooler?
Right. But
I'll get the puke bucket ready.
yeah, gold jacket, green jacket. Who gives a shit? But anyway, that's just where my mind goes sometimes, and it just cracks me up. So I'll be like, maybe like we'll be sitting here sometimes, especially when I'm super faded podcasting.
Yeah.
And I'll just been like. Right, especially like when you're into a store and you're going, and I was like, man, the guy controlling him, he's going ham on it, and it's funny, and it goes even as far, and this is, I'll take a page out of Bert Kreischer. He's like Secret Time, because I know nobody's listening. The guy who controls me, his name is Bruce. Like I've even like named him, where I've talked about it so much. I'll talk to the degenerate, and he'll be like, hey, is Bruce in control right now?
My God,
like he even knows, and like we joke about it because it's so funny to me.
That's fucking
and
awesome.
so
man.
like life is just crazy. That's it. Life's crazy, and it's a fucking beautiful thing.
Oh, dude, I love that story, man. That's fucking.
It's like the most crazy thing I've ever talked about, and I'm like almost 100% sober.
That, like, I can't get in there because I
Right.
can't get high.
Right.
You know, because I'm in
Right.
the military still.
Allegedly.
Alle-
Like, allegedly, that's what I do, I mean.
oh, allegedly, yeah, but no, like, I could kind of see it, but I think I would have to be high to.
Right.
If I was high, I'd probably be like, oh yeah, no,
Right.
yeah, I would.
But then, like, I've tried to talk to people about it, and you just get that fucking blank
Yeah.
look. And, like, trust me, if you were in here,
if you're in
it
there,
would
yeah,
make
yeah.
perfect sense.
No,
I think somebody out there listening might be like, yeah, I think I know what he's saying.
No, and
So-
I can kind of, I understand where you're going. I
Right.
can't
And-
fully see it, but I appreciate it and I love
And
that.
honestly, what started it for me is I've heard like on podcasts about simulation theory and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
No,
but,
that's a real thing.
no, absolutely.
That makes just as much sense to me as a god controlling
Right.
everybody.
No, exactly. And so
To
like,
me-
yeah. And so then I would like listen to that. But what really got it for me is a lot of the times, like during the week, I just have the same routine because I have a young kid and I think it's important to keep him on a routine.
Yeah.
But then it's just like essentially how it kind of is like, I wake up, I take him to daycare, I come home, I work, I go pick him up from daycare, J-Pax gets home, we eat supper as a family, and then we either like play or like in the living room with him, or maybe if we like go for a walk or, you know, whatever. Again, this is just during the week.
Right.
Then he goes to bed, maybe we watch some TV, she goes to bed, and then I just like watch more. But it's just like a routine that you could probably pick out. And I was just thinking about it one time when I was faded and I was just watching this video, and I must have just probably listened to a podcast about simulation theory, and I was just like, my guy's not doing a lot of work. Like for like my life, I was like just looking at my life and where it was at that point in time.
Okay.
And I was like, it's just like a lot of routine. And I was like, he must be working on somebody else, like a Mark Wahlberg or somebody.
And
like
has you just on autopilot.
yeah, exactly. How you
Yeah.
just have those people in the background,
Right.
you know.
Yeah.
And then it made me giggle. Like I was like giggling at it. And so I was just like, oh, what's he gonna do next? Like, oh, he's gonna get up, go to the kitchen and get some snacks. Like just stupid. And it made it to where I was literally laughing at myself. Yeah. And then I was super faded another night and I was texting the degenerate about it, and he's like, that makes perfect sense. And then I happened to call him. I was like, well, you know his name's gotta be Bruce, right? And he's like, dude, that's genius. Yeah. And so it made a lot of the times it makes me laugh, and especially if I faded like out in public.
Yeah.
Like I'll be like, what are we gonna do today, Bruce? Like just stupid shit. Just conversations, because and I think part of it again is like I work at home, so I interact with people, but it's not a lot of in person.
Okay.
Besides like with G and my wife during the week. So like when we, you know, so I'm just, my mind's always going, you know, and shit like that.
Yeah.
So that's where my life is at right now. So.
But there's so many people that they have a life and they have a routine, and a lot of that is just because it might not even be what they want to do.
Right. Yeah.
Like it's, all right, do good in school. All right, go to college. All right, get a 9-to-5 job, find a nice lady, get married, make it baby.
With
And it's
semen.
just like, that's with semen. That's exactly the autopilot role. Like,
yeah. And I 100% feel like that's, you know, but again, I'm not saying my life sucks. That people don't read into this. I'm just talking to talk.
Pags hates his life.
But you know,
my suicide watch.
You know, I have a great wife. I have a great kid.
Yeah.
You know, I don't love my job, but I do enjoy my job. I get a lot of time off to do other stuff. You know,
for sure.
Get to do this podcast. You
Yeah.
know, I'm going camping. We do. I just went again for the 100th time that I've mentioned. I went out to Colorado, and so you know, I get to definitely do a lot of stuff. But it's just like when you don't have anything going on in your home and you're just like mowing for the weekend, and then you just jump right back into that 5-day routine, and you know, you're just like watching. Maybe you have nothing to watch that night or whatever, and you just get to thinking, and it's stuff that just makes me giggle. Like I love to have fun, and I try to laugh, and I do laugh at like pretty much everything. So when I'm just sitting there and it's just like, you know, just giggling to myself, and you know, Fred comes up and he's like, what are you looking at? You know, just stupid shit like that. So the simulation theory is real, goddammit.
Dude, I would not dispute that. Like, I don't dispute that at all.
But I did bring up, and I do want to talk about Hot Ones. Did you watch the most recent video that just came out this last Thursday? The questions?
The question? Yeah, no, I didn't watch that.
Dude, it's good. Like, because, again, beating a dead horse, but I love Sean. But what I thought, and I'm going to give you a spoiler alert on it, but what I thought was cool is somebody asked the question if they were going to ever have the guy who created Hot Ones, or co-creator, Sean Schomburg or something, maybe I can't think of his name, if he was ever going to be on it. And they said that he doesn't do like hot sauce really well, but they have talked about is if when they ever decide to stop doing Hot Ones, he will be the last episode. And I think that is the coolest fucking thing. Yeah. So like, if you ever see his face in the thumbnail, no, it is our last episode ever. And I just gave me goosebumps now thinking about it. Like, I love that show so much because I know they work so hard, and that show literally has changed my life. Like, I'm way more into hot sauce than I have ever been in my
dude.
Like, I just finished up on my hot sauce. I have 3 bottles of hot sauce that are unopened right now, and we're going to Volcanic Peppers. Shouts out to them. We're going tomorrow to get more, just so I can have, you know, just to like try different ones. And so, like I said, it's just the questions, and I know they're interviewing like celebrities people I'll probably never meet, but it's interesting stuff because of the questions that they ask. And
the research they do.
Yeah, and they ask questions that you never hear on any other.
No.
Like the Tyra Banks episode, she fucking went insane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, she's crazy already.
Yeah.
But she was like, she made like the camera guy come out and eat a wing for her. Like, I love that chaos and how he like has to control with it. It's phenomenal. But like, yeah, he answers some fucking great questions on that. And then they do a clip at the end of like all of season 5, and it just got me so fucking hyped. I watched it and I was like, fuck, I love this show so much.
I'll have to watch.
It's awesome, man.
It's I've just been getting caught up on stuff. I've been pretty busy, but I watched the Honest trailer for Black Panther. I'm caught up on Philly D. It took me 2 days to get caught up on the last.
Well, he's been dropping 20-minute fucking videos. But that's I mean, I watch him because that's how I get my news.
Oh, same,
I'll see like what he says because I know and a lot of people don't think that he's you know, that he's not biased or that he is biased one way, and I don't see. He's pretty much straight down the middle, and he has his feelings, and he'll give facts, and that's all my political news comes from him, like, because I don't really trust any other, and it's good, and he even says himself, for him, he's like, don't just listen to me, go out to other places, see what people are saying, and make your own opinion, and, I mean, he is the reason why I love YouTube so much, like, Mikey told me about him. You know, like, he was the first person that I subscribed to, and I've been watching him for 10 plus years. So, and just to see where he started in like the old videos, and he's like my age. So like back in the day where he was like douchey and stuff, like I was like, I was at that stage with him. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, Philly D for sure. I watch him. I watch Hot Ones. I watch Honest trailers.
Yeah.
And then I watch other stuff too. I watch some like horror stuff, like Rob Dyke. But yeah, no, dude. YouTube is still my shit. I love it. You were talking about something earlier. I think it had to do with the zombie apocalypse or something else. I was watching an old Bill Burr bit at work. And it was the bit when he was talking about population control.
Oh yeah. He talked about it on like three straight.
He's talked about it on a bunch of different ones. Yeah, he talks about that quite a bit, and I'm not going to try to do the bit,
right?
Because it'd be stupid. But he pretty much talks about there's too many people, and he's talked about that multiple times.
Right.
There's over 1 billion people in China. There's over 1 billion people in India. He talks about maybe just putting a ban on having children for the next 25 years, letting it, let people fall out. And he's said all these people walking around staring at stuff or getting in the way. His ideal number for the population is 30,000. And he's like, could you imagine what the world would be like with only 30,000 people? Like he'd be amazing. Freeways would open up, like, like, and I'm like, God damn, that'd be great, And we talk about that. We talk about that at work, and we talk about that at home, and
because there's 7 billion people, over 7 billion, and it's just going.
Yep, it's going up, and food's going down, meat's going down. Everybody's eating meat. We're eating way too much meat. It's not good for us, but fuck, I'm not gonna stop eating meat. Fuck that.
Nope.
People talk bad about people who are vegetarians or vegans, but I'm like, don't fucking talk shit about them. Like, that's great. The more people we can stop eating meat, the more meat for us.
Yep, exactly. And that's why I love to hunt too. It's nice to supplement, that in, and shit like that too. So, and all of we don't ever go to the store for hamburger because it all.
We don't either. Yeah.
Because it all comes from, like I said, the cow that they get. But again, that cow that her parents get, like, it comes from Jen's uncle's farm. Nice. Like, it's her mom's brother's direct farm. Like, they raised it. That's fucking awesome. And so I know exactly where it comes from. I've been to the farm plenty of times. The farm has been in the family for decades. Nice. So I've seen it. It's not factory farming or anything like that. So
it's fresh.
Yeah. So that's nice. Yeah, I mean, there is the factory farming is absolutely horrible. It's awful.
Oh, absolutely.
But with that being said, how else are you gonna feed that many people?
There's so many people.
Yeah.
We need like a plague or something,
Yeah, as long as anybody I know doesn't get affected by it.
We need like 25% of the population to get hit with this.
Yeah. I don't know. I have a feeling something's gonna happen. Yellowstone's gonna fucking blow any minute. This fucking asteroid or something, man. Yeah. It's
global warming.
Yeah, it's coming.
Faux man.
Show.
Faux show.
Let's have more kids. Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live.
Oh, dude, I wanted to tell you. So, I bought the grill.
Yeah.
I bought a couple small stuff. I bought some new headphones. I bought a reel for the garden hose. One of the best purchases I made this year was a hammock.
Oh shit!
So
I saw it out there.
Did you try it out?
Yeah, I did not, because I saw it like right before. I saw it on Cam's Snapchat a while back, and then I saw it like right before you guys got to BDC Studio, so I didn't get a chance. So tomorrow I'm gonna 100%.
Does Cam send Snapchats to me?
Does she send them to you?
Of me?
Oh, just the naked ones.
Oh, hell yeah. Yay.
I was like, did she send them to you? I don't know.
I don't have Snapchat. Yeah. No, so Cam was talking about having a hammock, wanting a hammock. So I found one. I just ran across one, and I was like, fuck it, I'll buy it.
Yeah.
Set it up on the, you see where it's at?
Yeah, on the deck.
Upper deck. And, dude, it's fucking amazing.
Dude, yeah, go ahead.
Like, if you haven't, I've never had a hammock.
Really?
Yeah, I've never had one. I've never really been in one like that.
Oh, they're fucking phenomenal.
And I did not know this until now. Like, now that I have one, I guarantee I will never not have a hammock for the rest of my life.
Really?
That's how serious I am about it. Yeah. It's a game changer.
Oh, they're fucking great.
You lay back in it, so fucking comfortable. I just fucking chill.
Yeah.
I look up.
Especially you get like those spring days where it's like,
oh yeah,
it's just warm enough, like you're in the sun, but like the breeze that's coming across.
Oh yeah,
and it's just like you're warm from the sun, but you're like slightly cold from the breeze, and you're just in the hammock, your eyes closed. when I went, Mikey and I went on a hike the first day I was out in Colorado, and he has a hammock that you would just attach between two trees. So we went off the trail and we hooked it up. We just fucking sat out there, busted out the pre-roll, and just fucking just stared at the mountains, ate some snacks, and just I got some fucking bomb-ass pictures, and it's fucking phenomenal. He takes it anytime he goes on a hike. Even if he doesn't use it, he has it, you know, just in case. And even if it takes him, it probably took us 30 minutes to find the perfect spot between two good trees. Yeah, the distance. And we maybe only sat there for 10, 15 minutes, but it was worth it. Like, even if you aren't in there that long, it's fucking phenomenal.
Dude, like I said, I've never had one. I don't know what it is. Yeah. As soon as you get in it, it's like it wraps around
I think I might have to get one now and put it out in the yard.
I'm telling you, dude. In mine, we don't have the trees here to do that. So I bought a frame for it.
Yeah. I get one with the frames because I would want it down in my backyard. And just
you got room in your backyard where, and you just
go out there and take a nap when G lays down for his nap.
Oh my God. You're like, it's like it wraps around you, but you're still like weightless. And it's just another, like, if you're listening to this, there's two things I fucking told you about, all right? It's the Kanye fucking song, and it's the hammock is a game changer, I'm telling you. Yeah. Like, don't sleep on the hammock. I never knew about it. I'm telling you, now that I have one, I will never not have one for the rest of my life.
Dude,
like,
that's fucking
that's
awesome.
how cool it is to me. Like, you get in it, and yeah, like, we've been in the weather for it. You know, pretty soon, like, it's like a few weeks ago, you could be in all day if you wanted to. You know, you can get in at 1 in the afternoon. Now it's like a morning thing, an afternoon thing. Yeah. When it's 86 degrees outside, it's
I would still get in it though.
You
just
can
for
still get in it, but it's not the same. But yeah, when the weather's perfect, I mean, you can just fucking chill in it. It's hammocks are. I don't know what it is, dude. I did not know about that.
We never had one growing up. We had some friends who had one, and I remember getting in one and be like, "Oh, it was awesome." But then you're a kid, so like, "Am I gonna flip out?" And then you flip out, type stuff. But they've always been awesome. I have another friend that has one, and she has one in her backyard. She fucking like it's like every spring. She's like, "It's hammock time."
Oh yeah.
So it's just like it's a cult.
Oh yeah, it might be, man.
Yeah, for sure. It's fucking. I can't wait to try it out tomorrow. It's gonna be fucking awesome.
Dude, it's fucking. And I was worried about it because you see that in TVs, like people flipping out of them, whatever. Yeah. Like it's 3 feet across. It's got the wood frames on the top and the bottom. Like, you can't fall out of it. Like I can get in it any way I want. And I like when it kind of.
But you're so graceful, like a swan. Anyway,
I am.
So
it's finesse. I call that finesse. But no, dude, I love it, man.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Shit yeah.
Well, is there anything else you want to go over? I know it's not terribly long, but it's pretty early as far as the morning goes. So
I wanted to talk about so I did a range week with the Army, so I kind of want to talk about that, and then there's some stuff I want to get into with you. But no, I wanted to talk about the range week. So in my Army unit, we had to get qualified on crew serve weapons. So we went up to Minnesota to Camp Ripley.
Yeah, how'd you guys get there?
Bus.
Well, at least it wasn't a convoy. So.
Yeah. So the Advon party, I was supposed to be on Advon.
Okay. Which is for people who don't know.
I'm sorry. Advanced party.
Yeah.
So I was supposed to go advanced party, and then they didn't need me. So I ended up leaving a day later, which gave me an extra day off, which was nice. But we went up. We had 6-day orders, so we went to Camp Ripley, moved into barracks. It's shitty, man. I'll talk about the Army a little bit on this, but so we went up there, and the whole purpose was to just qualify on certain weapons in case we deploy. And which I like shooting, but if anybody in the military, they know like military ranges aren't necessarily fun,
No.
So we went out to Camp Ripley, and we started hitting the ranges, and we had a qual on the 50 cal, the M2 Browning machine gun, also known as the Ma Deuce, which has been around since fucking over probably 70 years.
Yeah.
We qualified on, some people qualified on the M249 SAW or the 240 Bravo. I qualified on the 240 Bravo. We qualified on rifle, which is the M16. or M4, and then I qualified on the 320A1 grenade launcher, which I've never even shot before.
Oh shit!
So that was awesome.
So like I know what it takes to qualify. Like on the M16, obviously you got to shoot the targets. You got to hit so many targets, and there's 3 different positions. But for like the grenade launcher or the 50 cal, like how do you qualify with that?
Okay, so for the machine gun range, a lot of them are similar. It's different between all 3. I guess all 3.
Right.
You got your light machine guns, and then you got the Ma Deuce. So the Ma Deuce goes out to 1,500 meters, and it's a crew surf weapon, so you're not hitting targets like a rifle. Like you're hitting big panels that come up that simulate a truck or whatever. But still, 1,500 meters is close to a mile. So and I don't I'm a fucking shooter, so I did first time go.
Of course. Eyes closed.
Eyes closed. So when you're shooting, so people that don't know, like for machine guns, the difference between a rifle and a machine gun. So you have your semi-automatic weapons. You have your basic AR or M16, M4. It's a clip magazine-fed weapon, usually 30 rounds. For the rifle, and I did machine gun. I did 2 machine guns, the grenade launcher, and then I did rifle. So when I went to rifle, and I have an AR, and I shoot it.
Yeah.
I say often, every
Old
2
Betty.
months.
Black Betty.
Black Betty. I shoot every 2 months. Going from the machine gun to the AR, it's just like, this is fucking stupid.
It's just like a fucking BB gun, I bet.
Plink, you're just pulling the trigger, bing, bing. Like, what the fuck? So that kind of sucked. No, I haven't shot Black Betty since then. I'm just like, this is...
Yeah.
But anyway, so for the M16, pop-up targets that range from 50 meters to 300 meters, and they pop up and pop down, and you have to hit them. So every 50 meters you have targets you have to hit. To qualify, you need, I think, 24, 25 to get marksman.
For the M16?
For the M16 or M4.
Yeah.
Like 29 to 35, you get sharpshooter, and then anything over that is expert. For the...
Never got an expert.
Oh, no?
The closest I've got is... So I've gotten one right below like the expert. Like most of the time, like I always hit like anywhere from like 31 to 33 targets like every time. So I might be a couple under, I guess. But
that's really, really good.
Yeah.
That's really, really good. The Army rushes everything.
Yeah.
Hurry up in 0. Get your weapon ready. All right, go qual.
Yeah.
And then targets start popping up, and you're fucking... Yeah, anyway. No, so the machine gun range... I haven't shot a machine gun probably since I was active duty, so it was fun. They had so much fucking ammo for us. Half the unit went to Minnesota, the other half went to Hastings, Nebraska. We had so much ammo. So the big thing with a machine gun, to carry it and to shoot it, you need an AG, assistant gunner, or maybe 2 AGs, 2 assistant gunners. So when you're shooting a machine gun, like it's vibrating, you're shooting, you can't load your own weapon. No. You can't load it. So you have your AG loading. He's either yelling at you, he's looking through a spotter scope or binos, he's tapping your helmet.
Left, right.
Go left,
down.
up, right, because you're shooting bursts and you're walking into the target. So a lot of that's going on. Me and my partner both, my partner was Kush for the 50, and me and him both killed it.
Hell yeah.
I want to say we were both first time goals, but fuck, it's been a few weeks. But anyway, after that, we had so much ammo to burn off. They just did what's called a fan fire. So they were like, we're just going to keep popping up targets. So by the end of the day, it was 4 of us at our firing lane, and we had, the first group was like 1,000 rounds. So we shot 1,000 rounds between the 4 of us, and then they brought out another at least 1,000 rounds. So we had just boxes and boxes of ammo.
Insane.
Each belt is I want to say 200 rounds. So we slapped 200 rounds into the Ma Deuce, and it's the butterfly trigger.
Yeah, explain that. Some people don't know what that is.
Okay, so a butterfly trigger. So with the
I just think it would be very interesting for people who don't know.
All right, so I guess you can walk your way up. So you have your M16A4, which fires 5.56 NATO rounds, or it would be the equivalent of a 223 round with most people's ARs. You shoot that. It's semi-automatic. It's magazine fed. Every time you pull the trigger, you shoot. Which you could still shoot 30 rounds if you're quick.
Quick, yeah, absolutely.
I don't know, 10 seconds, whatever you quick. As fast as you can pull the trigger, bullets come out. Then you start getting into your LMGs, your light machine guns, and those are belt fed. So the first one is the SAW, the M249. They call it the SAW, the squad automatic weapon. It shoots the same ammo, the 5.56 or 223 ammo. It's just belt fed. But there's also a slot where you could go magazine fed, and so with that you pull the trigger. As long as you're pulling the trigger, it's spitting rounds. And I want to say the SAW M249 shoots on cyclic like 600 to 800 rounds a fucking minute.
Yeah,
it shoots.
It fucking crushes.
So anytime you're shooting at high rates of fire like that, you got to change barrels out. With the SAW, it's a little difficult to change the barrels out, but you could throw 600 rounds a minute downrange easily.
Jesus.
And
I'll dodge them all.
I'll dodge them all. And for that target range, I didn't qualify on the SAW this time. I qualified on the SAW in Missouri last year, and but it's still, instead of 300 meters, like you're shooting 800, maybe 1,000 meters. So then you go up to the 240, the 240 Bravo. On vehicles, the 240 Coax. I want to say the Marines use a 240 Gulf. There's different variations of it. The 240 took over from the M60, aka the Pig. That was used, back in Vietnam, whatever. When I first went through the Army, that's what they were using. They were using the Pig, the M60. So I shot M60 in basic training. Now it's all 240 Bravo. It's still a light machine gun at LMG, but they shoot 7.62 caliber, which is the same as like a 308 caliber civilian style. It's an AK round.
Okay.
But it's still belt fed.
Yeah.
There's no magazine fed for the 240. But you got a 200 round belt. Your AG slaps the belt. Or you could, for the 240, it's on your shoulder. You're holding it close. You could load your own 240, but your AG or assistant gunner is still like go up, go down because you're walking rounds in.
Right.
They're telling you where to shoot. The 240, it kicks like a motherfucker. You hold the trigger, short bursts, so you're more accurate. 3 to 6 rounds, and you're holding it down, and it's hitting your shoulder. Gas is kicking up from the rounds. Dust is kicking up. It's hard to see. So your AG.
Yeah, and that's why you need the. That's why you need the other
you need
guys,
an AG
100%.
plus to help. Like you're shooting.
Yeah.
He's got binos, so he's like, hey, go up, go down. And then he's getting another box ready, linking ammo together, doing whatever. You need an
And you're
AG.
trying to put your shoulder back into place.
Plus, if you're in combat, the fucking enemy is shooting at the machine guns.
Right.
You got a bunch of people with rifles, and then you have a fucking machine gun shooting.
Right.
They're shooting at machine guns. So you need an AG. So the 240, it was the same. I want to say targets popped up to maybe 1,000
Okay.
meters. It's pretty far.
Yeah.
But same thing, like you're taking targets down, but it's kicking you like a motherfucker, dude. Dust, gas, and carbon's kicking up, but it's a blast to shoot. The Mod Deuce, so the 249 and the 240, you have the same kind of trigger.
Just a regular gun
and the
trigger.
same butt stock.
Yeah.
The butt stock's on your shoulder. You're in the trigger.
A normal gun trigger.
A normal
what
gun
you would
trigger.
see on anything.
Like you would see on just a normal rifle, butt stock and a normal trigger like you would see on a rifle. When it comes to the Mod Deuce, the M2 Browning machine gun, it's a little different. It's long. It's probably 5-6 feet long. It's got a long barrel. It's got a handle where it's kind of hard to explain, but you got a handle that you hold where your fists are parallel, and it's got a butterfly trigger.
It's kind of like, the way I would explain it is it's like an IndyCar steering wheel.
Like a steering wheel.
Yeah, like where it's not the round, it's just the two things. So yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Kind of spaced out the same, and that's what it's like. So
and then you have a butterfly trigger where you're not reaching up on the weapon to pull a certain trigger. It's a butterfly pattern trigger where you're pushing both. You're grabbing your fists on the handle like a steering wheel, and you're pressing down on the butterfly with 2 thumbs. And when you do that, 50 cal rounds are fucking a little bit smaller than a Zima bottle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you have 200 round belts of those, and you pull down on the butterfly trigger, and this fucking thing just whoa.
It's so fucking exhilarating, man.
It's incredible.
Dick hard.
Yeah, it gets your dick hard as fuck. Guess you're a fag. Tell you what. But no, shooting the 50, I love shooting the 50. It's incredible. The 50, the 50 is knocking down trees. It's knocking down trucks. It's knocking down anything you have in front of it. It's incredible. And I couldn't imagine being on the other side of that. If you're coming up a hill and you see that 50, you hear that 50 start fucking barking and knocking down trees.
Oh my God.
It's a fucking problem. But
instantly shit yourself.
Yeah, shooting that is fun. So then we moved on to a new weapon for me, which was the M320A1 grenade launcher. It's a 40 millimeter grenade launcher. And I don't know if I sent you a picture of it or not.
No, that you did not.
Okay, I'll give you a picture. I got it on my phone, but I could maybe throw it on the gram. So it's before the Army had the M203 grenade launcher, and it's in all the old movies or whatever, even like Predator. It mounts on the bottom of a M16 or M4 rifle. You load a 40 millimeter shell. You pull a separate trigger. You shoot that. Then you go back to your regular trigger to shoot the M16. Mm-hmm. So this one, it works the same way. You can fire it alone. So it's got like a rubber bump stock.
Okay.
You put on your shoulder. It's got two sights that flip up. It kicks off to the side. Like so
what kicks off to the side?
The chamber.
Okay.
The actual chamber.
For the grenade. Okay.
So like you have your trigger well, just like an M16.
Yep.
But if you hit up, there's like a little button. So instead of pulling back on the trigger, you pull up. It kicks the chamber out. You throw a 40 millimeter grenade in there, click it in, pull the trigger, it fucking shoots.
Oh, so it's only the one trigger
shoots it.
Okay.
But
you gotta fucking to kick it out, load it.
To kick it out, like so like you have your trigger, you pull back on the trigger to shoot it. But if you pull up, there's another notch.
Okay.
And it unlocks it.
That makes sense.
And it instead of just sliding forward like the 203, it just kicks out.
Dude, that's gotta be quick.
So I've never shot it. My buddy Trimble, who's me and Trimble were the same. Like we both active duty, both reserves. Mm-hmm. He was actually with the 295th when we were in the same building in Lincoln.
Oh shit!
So
nice.
We're like, he was actually in Fort Riley, Kansas, too. So he's like, man, I've been following you around my whole military.
Right, yeah.
And I recognize his face, but I don't know him.
Right.
Great guy.
That's
great guy.
fucking awesome.
He's actually buying my electric smoker because I'm getting rid of all my stuff.
Oh, hell yeah.
But so me and him, it was just four of us that had to qualify for the grenade launcher range.
Yeah.
So we went there. It was pretty lax. We had 80 rounds, I think, to shoot between the two of us. And first time goals qualling. We had
Fuck yeah.
But anyway, so it was a real windy day, and we were just when you're at the qual range for a grenade launcher, you're not shooting actual grenades. You're shooting like training rounds, which
are they paint?
That it's like a powder.
Okay, yeah.
So it's like orange powder. So it'll hit like a board and it just explode orange.
Yeah. It's extreme paintball.
Extreme paintball. And with those, they have to travel between 14 and like 28 feet to detonate. So if you shot it short with an actual grenade round, it wouldn't go off.
Oh, okay. How far can you get? Like, how far did the actual grenade?
The range,
shoot?
it shoots far. For the actual qual range, it went to like 400 meters.
Holy shit!
So that's far.
Yeah, that's real far.
And you lob them, like you don't shoot them unless you're shooting.
Yeah,
if you're shooting 100 meters, you aim straight. If you're shooting further, you aim up, so you're actually lobbing.
Does it make the noise?
Yes.
Dude, that's fucking
so
great.
I was a grenadier when I was active duty.
Yeah.
And my favorite things to shoot were like parachute flares. You could shoot a bunch of shit through. You could shoot smoke. You could shoot parachute flares. You could shoot grenade rounds through grenade launchers. So I've never shot this. I was excited about it.
How do you fucking shoot with a massive boner like that though? Like you just gotta work around it.
You tuck it.
Tuck it. Okay.
Yeah,
that makes sense.
So I shot first. They gave us 5 rounds to warm up with. And they had like it goes from 100 meters to like 400 meters. And the first thing is like a big wood panel with the door. Yeah. And then you have a machine gun nest, and then you have a bunker, then you have like another bunker, then you have troops in the open, you have all the stuff. You have to get within 5 meters of each target.
Were you nervous?
No.
Since you never really shot it, or
no, I wouldn't. No, I wasn't.
I mean, I know you don't get like nervous. It's like a nervous excitement because you don't like.
Oh
really...
yeah. No. I do get nervous, but for this, I was more excited than anything.
Right, of course.
So they give us 5 shells. Mm-hmm. I think that's the correct term for grenades.
Yeah, it sounds right to me. But what do I know?
They give us 5 shells to fuck with, and then we go right to qual. So I remember, I'll shoot the 150 meter door target, and I don't want to get in the door. I want to hit the fucking wall so I can see the orange explode. And so I shot it, and bang, like it kicks like a motherfucker. It kicks like a hard shotgun.
Oh shit!
And
which makes sense.
Yeah, and I was like, thump.
I love that sound.
Yeah, oh, me too. But it kicks hard, and it's this rubber adjustable buttstock that you could take that off, so you can mount it on the. If you have a 4 rail, you mount it on the bottom of your rifle. If not, you single shoot it just from the shoulder. Kneeling, standing. I was propped up on a wall, and I was like, Trimble, this thing kicks like a motherfucker. And then when it was this time to go, he's like, Jesus Christ, dude, this thing kicks like a motherfucker. He's like, I heard you say that, but I didn't know. I was like, yeah.
I just thought you were being a bitch.
Yeah. So you hug it close to your chest, your shoulder, and then it's got the 2 flip ups, and it's got range.
Yeah.
So if you're shooting at 150 meters, it was real windy. I swear to God. So it was real windy, and so I would aim at the 250 meter target. We'll say the 250 meter target, and I would just dial that in the 250 meters, and it'd be like lobbed up, so you're aiming kind of up. And I would adjust for wind, and I would thump. And by the end of the qual, you only had to get within 5 meters. We were putting it on target. We were hitting target.
Fuck.
That's how accurate this was. At
God.
300 meters, we were hitting like the machine gun troops. Almost dead on.
Dude, that's fucking awesome.
So if that was a live grenade, like they're dead.
Fucking
the accuracy of this thing was incredible.
Dead as shit.
That was one of the funnest things.
Dude, that would be fucking awesome.
Because it was new to me. Like
yeah,
exactly.
2 or 3. I mean, how many weapons have you fired just the military alone, and to get something that you haven't
never fired
in like your 20th year being in total, that's fucking awesome.
Me and Trimble were first time goals. Qualled immediately, grenade launcher qualified.
I hope everybody listening is like me, like you can hear just the
thump.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and it's fucking
boom,
it's like
shit.
It's like a hard shotgun.
Yeah.
But that week we spent 6 days at ranges, and I did the math, about 1,500 rounds of ammo, just me.
Holy shit.
So after we qualled on weapons, we had to get rid of them. Because I guess it's a pain to repackage and put. Yeah. So we were just shooting.
It's always. I mean, it was that way when I was.
They don't
any extra ammo. Yep, get rid of it.
And like, dude, like 50 cal ammo. Like I said, it's a little bit smaller than a Zima bottle, and I'm not exaggerating.
No, you're not. I've seen. I think I've told you in basic training. Yeah. I actually got to shoot the 50 cal. So yeah, no, and I've seen it.
They're gigantic.
The Harris for his. He got us the bottle openers at the 50 cal round and shit. So yeah.
So each round is probably at least $2 or whatever. Yeah. I don't know how much I spent just doing that. But at the same time, like you think about shooting like with your friends or whatever. It's not like that at an army range.
Oh no.
So like I spent a couple days where I was at the range where I spent 10 hours at the range.
Jesus.
Like online at the range. Yeah. So if you're online at the range, you're taking commands from the tower. So I was either a gunner or a shooter, an assistant gunner, or a safety on the range. And we had our helmets, we had our vests on, and we had our 7.62 plates. Ear protection, eye pro, gloves, 7.62 plates front and back.
Jesus Christ.
So for like, I remember, seriously, one day, I think 2 days I was on the range all day. Like, I think I peed like on the range. I was on lane 2. I peed on the range. For lunch, we ate MREs, and my buddy Aquino, shouts out, he had sardines, and we ate sardines and crackers and MREs. But other than that, 10 hours, helmet, flak vest, plates.
And we all know how comfortable those helmets are.
Taking commands from the tower, like, all right, rotate your selector switch or whatever the command is for whatever weapon.
Semi.
Yeah. And so those are long days. It was a blast.
I mean, it is fun. You're fucking shooting like amazing gun stuff. But I mean, you're still dressed up.
It's hard work, man.
Yeah,
and then loading stuff, unloading stuff, cleaning up the range, cleaning up all your brass, and then going back to the barracks. And then, so for me, I'm getting older, you know. So we stayed in these barracks. It's just all concrete. It was probably each bay. It was just like Camp Dodge or Hastings. It was just all concrete, no fans. I slept next to the two loudest snorers in the building.
Oh my god!
And it what pissed me off was so I would just stay in my bed. I would text Cam.
Yeah.
And I would listen to podcasts on my shitty earbuds. Now,
right.
Now I got fucking big ear.
Over the ear. Yeah, for sure.
That I'm gonna wear for the next few times. But I would just lay in my bed, and then I just think how inconsiderate like some of these younger people are, man. Like they'd be like just dragging their feet all the way through their barracks. Slamming doors open. Like every time I go through the door, like I open it slowly.
Oh yeah.
Close it slowly. Other people just slam it open, go to the pisser, come back. It just like some of that just pissed me off. Like it's getting old, man. People are in there on their phone. It's like there's 30 of us in one fucking room on bunk beds.
Yeah. Put your fucking headphones on, Bill.
Talk to your fucking girlfriend or wife outside. Like it was hot. Like it's just like I'm getting too old for it, man. I've been doing it for 20 years. You know, before we didn't have barracks.
Yeah.
Like we slept outside.
Lights at the end of the tunnel, brother.
Yeah,
You're almost there, man.
I'm within 5 months of being done, but some of that shit I love shooting. I love helping the younger people and passing on my knowledge. But some of this shit, like, man, I don't get enough sleep on my normal life. Like, I don't need the Army to, you know, I don't know, but. Yeah, shooting that shit, that shit is fun, dude.
Yeah, I remember it was fucking great because I knew you were going up there.
Yeah.
I didn't know exactly what for. I didn't know you were qualifying.
It was just all like a gunnery.
Yeah, and then you just no context that you just sent me the videos and I was like, hell yeah, that's fucking awesome. So that's fucking great, man. Especially that with that grenade launcher, you just got fucking.
Oh, yeah,
I
dude.
mean, you picked it up like that. I mean, of course you did, but still, that's just. Again, I've heard one shot just. Oh, look at that beauty!
Thunk. I just showed them a picture of the 328-1.
Oh my god!
That's without the sights flipped up, but and that rubber bumper stock that slides off. You just slide that right on the bottom of a 4-rail, but
dude, you'll have to definitely post that, dude. That thing's She's pretty.
Yeah, she's. Yeah. So, real quick, because I got some stuff I want to get into with you if it's not too late, but So my AR at home, I call Black Betty, and then I have a pike pole I use at work. It's if you don't know what a pike pole is, it's tough to explain. Just Google that shit if you're interested. But it's got a red hook on it, and then the bottom, I special wrapped it like a hockey wrap using like medical tape.
Oh, nice.
So it's got grips on it because I used it in the wintertime and it fucking gets icy, whatever. So that's Bonnie, and I love Bonnie. She's my bitch. Me and Bonnie, we've put in so much work together.
No, I was gonna say, I bet you've done a lot of work.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
Every time I go into a fire, I take Bonnie. So I have Black Betty, I have Bonnie. So when I went to the rifle range, I didn't name the Modus or the 240 because it's a crew serve weapon and multiple people used it. Yeah. But when I went to the rifle range and the grenade launch range, those are my weapons that are assigned to me. So if we go anywhere, those are my weapons. So I named those Becca and Becky. So like all the names are B's.
Yeah, I love that. Becca.
Betty, Bonnie, Becca, and Becky.
Dude, that's phenomenal.
Yeah.
That's great. Great name picks.
Yeah.
You definitely need to post that picture though. We should just post it on our Nasty and Friends Instagram.
Yeah.
So that's when we post this podcast, which will be tomorrow, I believe, technically.
That's Becca.
Yeah, we'll definitely have to fucking post it. So that's fucking great.
All right, what time we at?
I love it. Well, I mean, we're just crossed 2 hours, but it is quite early in the morning. So.
No, I'd love to hear about the Colorado trip or.
Yeah, man. Yeah, we could definitely get if you're still.
Dude, I'm wide awake.
Okay, yeah, perfect.
You know what? Maybe I'll take a pee real quick.
Yeah.
That Zima's kicking in.
Yeah. Definitely. Well, do you want to pause? I can make another drink and then.
Oh, yeah, I'll pause.
Yeah.
Edit this shit out. Let's edit this shit out.
Yeah.
I'll go check on Cam.
You what?
All
right, well, I'm going to pause this for you guys. We'll be right back. It might be a couple minutes for us.
All right.
And we're back. So I know that was like not even half a second for you guys, but just had to break the seal for us and make a couple drinks. So appreciate you waiting for that. Zero time for you.
Yeah.
But yeah, you said that you wanted to get like to the Colorado trip.
Yeah, dude.
Definitely. Yeah, man, it was fucking great. I mean, I love Colorado. It's for multiple reasons.
Same.
I mean, it's beautiful. The snow there is so much different than here.
Okay.
Like so much like a lighter snow. You know, I feel like I just remember Mikey saying like one day, like he sent me a picture. There was like no snow on the ground. He's like, we're gonna get some snow. He's like, we just got 6 inches, and the next day it was completely gone. Like it's just, you know, it's insane. But yeah, man, I went out there and it was just myself. Excuse me. I still went out to hang out with him and his roommate, my cousin, my second cousin that's out there, and it was just fucking great. I got to do everything that I wanted. So, like I said earlier in the podcast, my mom, my grandma, my mom's sister, and then my great uncle Pat went out there the weekend before. So when they came back, Mikey just rode back with them and got to hang at home for a couple of days and see some people. And then I went and picked him up, and then him and I just left. We left like Wednesday, like at 6 p.m. and it's like a 9-hour drive out to his.
Okay.
Excuse me. Out to his house, and we just drove overnight essentially, and we got there like at 2:30 because they're an hour behind us, so we're in Central Time, and so they're in Mountain Time or whatever it is. So like here it's 1:30 in the morning, it's just 12:30 there. So it's nice. So we gain an hour going there. Yeah. It's still like a 9-hour trip or whatever, but
it's not in Denver though. Denver's still in our time, right?
No, I don't think so.
Oh, is it time change?
I don't. Yeah, because I mean he lives in Fort Collins, so it's close to Denver. But yeah, yeah, I don't know where it changes, but yeah, I know it definitely changes. So, but yeah, we got out there like 3:30 in the morning, and then supposed to rain like Friday and Saturday, and I was just gonna be there from Thursday. Well, when it'd been early Thursday morning, and I was just gonna leave Sunday sometime. And so we got up, got like 4 hours of sleep, and we just went out to this place called Horsetooth. And it's just a trail, and it takes like an hour and a half, maybe if you're just going straight to get up there, and you follow a trail, and you climb all the way up top. One side you can see all of Fort Collins, the other side you just fucking see just like mountains and just like valleys and shit. But I mean, you climb up on top of these rocks, and it was just fucking awesome, man. It's a different vibe out there, man. Yeah. People are out there, like everybody we passed said hi, you know, and like even around here, like just anywhere I go, like I try to talk to people. Like I said, again, maybe it's just because I don't have that connection as much anymore. But you know, if we're standing in line and I'm holding G and he's like looking back at it, and I go, it's not polite to stare, or like, can you say hi, or like I always like try to make something because he gets. I mean, he's a kid, of course. Everybody's gonna love him and stuff, you know. But it's just great. Like people have questions, you know. Oh, you guys come here often? How many times you've been here? Are you from here? Like that type of stuff. Mm-hmm. But no, man. I mean, it's great. Went to just a couple dispensaries. So, of course.
What kind of dispensaries we talking here?
Some marijuana dispensaries.
Jesus Christ!
I know, the devil.
You sinner.
But
has it? So I haven't been to a dispensary in maybe a year and a half. Is there any new stuff on the market, or?
I mean, I don't really go like crazy when I go there because, you know, I mean, I don't ever bring anything back because that's illegal, you know, stuff like that. But I know, like my cousin who's out there, he likes to smoke a lot, and he. Like I think they've really upped their vape game, like the oil. I think a lot of people like go to that. Okay. Yeah, I still like the flowers and stuff and the edibles, but yeah I mean the vape that I feel again. I could be way off, but he was showing me like the one he has, and it'll last him for a while, and it's pretty fucking awesome, man. And you can get like disposable vapes. They usually don't work as well. Like
one hitters.
No, not even the one hitters, but I mean it's just like so the one that he has, you buy like the cartridge that has like the oil and stuff in it, and then you like put it, and you can like the part that actually like powers it is like you keep that, you charge that up, but like they have disposable ones that it's like just it's the almost the exact same size of a cigarette, but there's no charge to it or whatever. You just pull on it, and then when you pull, it just lights it up, and heats up the oil and stuff. But as soon as that's out, you just throw that away.
Okay.
So yeah, and so they have a couple different ones. The one that I got when I was out there, I wasn't like a huge fan of, just because I broke it like halfway through. And I've had other ones that just I felt were just like made better. But but I don't know. I guess maybe that's probably like the biggest thing out there right now for them. I just happen to see a lot of people with them and stuff, I feel. So more than the last time I was out there or whatever.
Okay.
But yeah, so Thursday, like I said, we got up and we went and hit the trail, and I was pumped. And it usually gets pretty busy on the weekends, but like I said, we got up somewhat early, and it was only Thursday, and there was plenty of time. And yeah, man, I just went up there, and like I said, that was the time we're on our way down from Horsetooth. We stopped and got in the hammock and and stuff like that. But it was awesome. I got like some pictures I can show you and shit. Just being up top there, and I got to do everything that I wanted to do. I wanted to hit a trail and do that. We were supposed to go to this place called Emerald Lake, where it's I think a 2-hour hike. And when you get up there, the lake was going to be green, and hence why it's called Emerald Lake. Yeah. But it was raining and stuff, so I'm glad that we definitely at least went out on Thursday, just Mikey and I. But yeah, and so we did that. We even went downtown Fort Collins and just found this hipster coffee place and sat down and had coffee, and went to a hookah bar. I've done hookah once or twice.
I thought we did it in Philly.
I didn't do it. A bunch of people did, but I didn't.
Yeah, no, I was with you. I was with the group that didn't do it.
Right, yeah. So I had never done it, and out of everything, that almost put me under, man.
No shit.
Because I don't smoke cigarettes. I don't chew. So they said take it slow, and I did still take it slow. But I mean, at this point, I'm trying to remember the timeline. I think it was Saturday. So I'd been going hard in the paint.
Had a couple Zimas, did you?
Yeah, of course. Been going hard in the paint. And when you get there, the place was super cool though. You go in there and it was big and small at the same time. So it looks so small because the hallway that you're walking, I mean, it's probably just as wide as I am. And
the hallway to what?
When you're in the hookah bar. So when you go to the hookah bar and you're just just find a place to sit and we'll bring it out to you. But it's just they have this cubby. There was 6 of us. And so we all went and it fit all 6 of us. But then there's a place where only one person would sit. And it's just I would say a coffee shop, but instead of people drinking coffee, they're just smoking hookahs, which is just nicotine for people who don't know what that is. But it's flavored nicotine. The one that we got was mango vanilla, I think. Okay. And it was really good, but somebody who, myself, who doesn't do nicotine, and there was right next to, so right across the little hallway, there's 2 tables where 2 of the guys that were in our group, they just sat over there and they played chess against each other or whatever. It's just a nice, cool little hangout. But I literally laid down and took a nap because I was just all the fucking nicotine hit me.
Oh my god! Yeah. Well, so how long were you? Or how many times did you hit the hookah? I guess.
I mean, it was quite a bit. But Mikey's girlfriend was with us, and she owns her own hookah. Okay. She's I'll definitely smoke with you, and then we only had 3 people smoking on it. And so I didn't take it every time, but I still probably hit it 10 or more times.
And I don't know how much nicotine's in there.
I don't either.
Is each 4 hits
a
cigarette?
Dude, I have no. I didn't ask anyone. I didn't.
Yeah, so you don't know. If you. And for people who don't know, I chew, so and I often people will ask for chews. I've done it to Harris. I've done it to Ernest, aka Ernesto, and they've they'll just take one chew, and within 30 minutes they're oh, I remember Ernest. We were at Diamond's bachelor party, first one, and I think he was hey man, can I spit this out? This is disgusting, I'm dizzy, I'm lightheaded. People puke. Yeah. If you're not used to nicotine, if you're used to nicotine, I'll throw a chew in, it's nothing. Yeah. But if you threw a chew in right now,
I'd be fucked.
You might be puking.
Yeah. So
that's not a joke. So I don't know who.
I don't think it's probably as strong as that, but again, I don't know for sure, and it very well could be depending on how much you're doing.
A certain amount of hits.
Yeah. Exactly. So, but you gotta understand. I mean, I got out there. we got there super Thursday. We hit the dispensary like right at 9 a.m. Thursday. And I was just going hardcore, like, you know, edibles, flowers, you know. You're in Colorado, it's legal. I'm going to do it, you know, while I'm out there. And so this is like Saturday, I believe. Yeah. And, you know, running off like low sleep. And, I mean, I think we only just had like a couple whiskey sours, so I wasn't drinking. But, you know, I was like sleeping on like not the most comfortable thing. And, you know, you're in a new place and shit. I don't sleep well anyway. But so we get there. I just think it's funny because out of everything we did, that's like the hookah almost, you know, fucked me.
Oh, yeah.
So I get up. I was like, I got to pee. And I'm walking to the bathroom. I'm like, I'm going to throw up. Like, I can feel it. I know I look white. Yeah. And so I was just like, fuck, man. I was like, I fucked up. So we get back. And like I said, when I mean like the place is big but it's small, it's just because it's all broken into like either like for 2 people to sit, for 3 people to sit, for 6 people. But there's like so many of those. It seems like it's big. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
I hear you.
Okay.
I hear you.
And so it was just cool. So when the 2 guys, so there's only 3 of us smoking. It was myself, Mikey's girlfriend, and then this guy, Harry. Who was Mikey's roommates, is like a good friend, and he's a fucking great guy. He came to party with us all weekend and hang out and shit like that. And so he was smoking with us, so we were passing it around, and I like skipped some. But then I got up, went to the bathroom, like, oh, I'm gonna fucking throw up, and I was like, I can't do this. I can't be that guy, you know. So I get back, and they're playing chess by now, and I told Jess, which is Mike's girlfriend, I said, I'm done. You got to finish this by yourself. She's like, well, I think it's almost done anyway. But like the little cubbyhole that we were in, like you look up, they have it hooked up to where it looks like stars are up there, you know, like different lights. And so I have no fucking shame. I pulled up, laid down, grabbed a pill, and I fucking took a nap right there. Like they have the music going, and they just got like, I don't know who sings it, but it's Havana. The song that's like Havana Unana.
Oh yeah.
And so like that was playing, like that was just like the perfect mood. And like it's just like you're just like kind of grooving. I'm like, you know, stoned to the gills, doing the hookah, and it's just fucking chill in there. Man. There's people, like I said, like I think probably watching Netflix, people doing papers, and you just hear the you know, from the hookah, and I just fucking grab it, and I just fucking lay down, and I like pass out for like 10-15 minutes.
Shit, dude, a power nap.
Dude, fucking woke up, and I was like, let's go. Dude, it was fucking, I slept it off, and it was just fucking awesome. And I don't know if I mean, I know I passed out, but it wasn't like a solid straight. Like I wake up, open my eyes, make sure everybody was around, and like even the person that came by, she like walked by and like looked at me. I'm sure they probably get it a lot there. You know what I mean? But it literally is Nick. There's no weed in it at all or anything. But it was just awesome. You know, it's cool that everybody's like, they finished their chess game, and Jess finished the hookah and stuff, and just kind of hung out and talked for a little bit. And we got up and we left. And so like that was awesome. We found like this awesome like taco place, and it's great because Mikey, as you know, we're twins, so you go up and you order your tacos, they give you a number and you can sit wherever you want. So I was like, well, fuck, I'm like, they got a million different types of margaritas, let's get a margarita. So we set up at the bar, she's like, can I see your IDs? We're like, yeah. So she grabs Mikey's, looks at it, and I have an out of state. I was like, hey, the date of birth is here. She's like, okay. She looks at it, she like tilts her head sideways, and then she like looks up at us. I go, yeah, we're twins. She's like, yeah, I just thought you were messing with me there for a second. I was like, we get it often, which we do, because you could tell we're related, but I mean, we're not identical twins. So when you see, you know, like our date of birth is the exact same day, you know, we kind of look alike. The tacos were fucking phenomenal. I'd shout them out. I don't remember the name of it. But, you know, that was awesome. Like I said, found the coffee place and like the hike. Just trying to we just did so much, you know, in the time frame, and it's fucking crazy. So, but one thing, you know, that we did that was crazy. The plan was to try to do some DMT when we were out there. Which, if anybody who doesn't know, it stands for dimethyltryptamine, and it's like the most potent psychoactive, like, that there is out there, like
spirit molecule.
Your body makes it. So like usually, like when you do it, I've never done it before. When you do it, since your body makes it knows what to do with it. Your trip's usually like 15-20 minutes, and it's not like if you're doing shrooms where you're gone for 6 hours. Like again, your body takes you back to baseline. It's quick. There's a lot of information out there. I mean, if anybody who's never done it, I'm not suggesting that you do it at all. I'm just saying this is what my trip was. Well, the thing was, we had some,
Yeah.
but the person who had it was like 6 years old.
Okay.
So the thing was, is the person, he had made it. It was a buddy, and
Okay.
he had made it himself like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Like they all went in, him and some friends decided, and he actually forgot he had it, and he just came across it.
Okay.
And so we're trying to figure out, like, we tried to do it a little bit at one point.
And you try to smoke it?
Yeah. It's
Okay.
usually, you try to smoke it, and then when you do, I mean, it hits you quick. Like, you're technically, because I've heard a lot of podcasts on it, and I've done a lot of research.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I don't know why I feel like I have to say this, but I'm not promoting any of this. If you're going to take anything, do anything, even if it's caffeine, do your fucking research.
Yeah.
Make sure you're safe about it. That's all I'm going to say about that. Judge me if you want. I don't give a fuck.
I'm just going to say, just do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
But so he had made it, like I said, 6 years ago. Yeah. We did a lot of research. Like, it's not going to hurt you. If anything, it'll just be degraded. Degraded. It probably won't work. So we're trying to do it. A bunch of us are taking different hits. It tastes like shit. It smells like new shoes, and it's just weird.
Right.
And so we're trying to pass it around. I feel like since I've never done it before. Yeah. What happens for people who don't know, like when you do it, you take 3 big hits and you literally go into a different dimension.
Right.
Like people like try to keep their eyes open, but people say they see stuff. But if you close your eyes, I mean, you're seeing shapes, colors. Mm-hmm. You are literally in a different place mentally. 15, 20 minutes, your body, again, you cannot die on this. You cannot die on any psychedelic. Your body brings it back down to baseline, 15, 20 minutes. And I mean, I would say you're good, but I mean, you're different. If you do a lot of research into this, you see people are like, I woke up. I didn't know. A lot of people think there's definitely stuff all around us that you can't see until you do this. And it's something that really interests me. I mean, I just spent fucking 30 minutes talking about the simulation theory earlier.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just shit that I'm into, and I want. Maybe I'll hate it, but maybe it'll change my life forever for the good. I don't know, but I know I'm safe. I'm with people that I love and trust. I know I won't die from it, so why not? We fucking got to do it before Yellowstone blows anyway. So, wouldn't that be funny if it fucking blew and it was just like a ton of semen? That's just like, well, Jesus! The semen again, guys. Get back on track.
It's so creamy. I can't see. It's burning my eyes.
I respect all women now. I get it.
But it tastes so good.
Oh, yeah. He must have had glazed donuts. So anyway, this whole time, I'm like... It's not going to work. It's not going to work. Because we're trying, and I get, like, for the people who have done it before, they're like, I feel something, but I'm not going to a different place.
Okay.
So this whole time, like, and I finally get, like, a decent hit. You got to be careful because it is hot. It burns. And so, like, they have, where we did it, they had, like, this big blanket, and it has, like, a bunch of different shapes and stuff, and, like, all of that kind of just starts moving. But I'm here. So I was like, yeah, the stuff on the wall's moving, but I'm having conversation. I'm not going anywhere else. Lasted maybe 2 minutes. Like, and I felt like, kind of good. I felt uplifted. I felt love, and stuff like that. But I kind of moved, and then we're like, well, because they were in capsules, and so we were putting them into like actually I think it was
what kind of pipe
I think it was a crack pipe that they use that they use just for DMT.
I don't know, what do they use? What's the normal? Is that normal?
I think so, because like it's a chemical, you can't like burn it, you gotta wait till it like starts rolling, and stuff like that.
Because
so,
I've never done DMT
right
either, but I've seen a lot about it.
Right, yeah, and I've done a lot of research and stuff.
DMT and ayahuasca.
Yeah, and I haven't seen it either, as far as that goes. But again, the person I trust 100%. He's like, yeah, no, this is the stuff that we made. Okay. So this whole time I'm thinking it's not going to work, it's not going to work, it's not going to work. So we couldn't get this to work, so we're like, well, what we should do is and this is obviously I'm just along for the ride, just trying to figure it out. And the place that we have, kind of want to set it up. It's an apartment that we did it in.
Okay.
Small apartment, but they have a fog machine that's hooked up, and so they had it fogging, but they shut it off and the fog was dissipating. They have like lights. I mean, they have these toys to help with you, and they have music. I mean, there's certain bands that are play specifically for people doing DMT trips, because I don't know how much research you've done on it, but the music does take you in and out of it. Like the music is very important to it, which comes into play. So it is very, very important to it, which I guess way more than what I thought it would be.
Okay.
So they're like, how about I can't remember the term that they used for it, but it's essentially put in the DMT. It's like you put it in a bowl, so you put weed, DMT, weed, and then just smoke it out of a pipe like you were just smoking a bowl. And so, to do that, to see if maybe that'll, like help it, and, it does help with the taste and stuff. And so I was sitting there, and I, smoked a couple of it, and this whole time I'm like, it's not gonna work. So I get like this good hit, and I started getting over the taste, because at this time I've tried it like a bunch of different times. So I'm sitting there, and I sit on the couch, and I get kind of cold, but I mean it is April or whatever. So I'm sitting there, and I got my arms covered. I'm like, this fucking sucks. This is not like working, which is fine. Again, I don't have to do it. I just wanted to try it. I don't know if I'll ever get a chance to do it again, and really go to places. And the thing about it is, it's not like you do this, you're like, I got to do this all the time. I'm addicted to it. Like one of the guys that was there with us, we were like, hey, are you going to try this? And he's like, no, I did it like 2 months ago. He's like, I don't need to do it again. I'm not. There's some people who do it once and that's all they need. It's good. They set them for life. There's some people, they tell you, I've listened to podcasts where people have done DMT, and when they're in that other dimension, they've met quote unquote God, and they're like, you're doing this too much. Stop doing this. And they're like, just give it up for a couple years or a year or whatever. Like, it's not like a heroin or crack. Not at all. And I know you don't know, but I don't know. I just feel like I have to explain that to people, because I listen to this. I know it's this guy's fucking druggy and shit. Like,
no way.
I don't know. It's hard to explain without doing the research. And the amount of hours that I've put into research and listening to other people's experiences into this, like I feel like I was 100% ready to do it. Like you can never be 100% ready to know what you're going to see until you do it, unless you've done it before. Yeah. So that I understand. But I think without actually doing it, I think I was definitely the most prepared I could ever be. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
So I'm sitting there on the couch, and I'm looking at that wall, and I'm looking, there's a guy sitting, and I know all these people. I'm just not using names because I don't know. No, wise. And so I'm sitting there, and my whole mind, I'm like, this is not going to work. And sitting there, and my chest starts to get heavy, and I like have trouble breathing.
All right.
But I was just like, it's okay. It's probably just the DMT. You're gonna be just fine. And when I finally said that, like I said, like to myself, I'm like, it's nothing. Because you can just sometimes forget to breathe, when you're doing this. But your body will wake you up. It's not like nobody's ever died from doing that. But so I'm sitting there, and remember that the thing that was against that back wall that I saw that was moving.
The pattern of the blanket.
Yeah, that kind of started moving, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. And then the person sitting in the chair became like 3 people.
Oh shit!
And I was like, that's weird. Like this whole time, I'm like I was like trying not to fall asleep because I was tired from going, because this was like Saturday night, and so I was like, we've been going. I was like, don't fall asleep because I want it to work. Like, don't fall asleep. I want to make sure here. And so like the wall starts like moving and doing the shapes, and then the guy turns into like 3. And he's probably sitting like maybe 5 feet in front of the wall. Right. And then they come, so the wall moves forward, he moves back, he turns into the shapes of the wall, and then they mix together, and then they just disappear, and then I just close my eyes. And I was just like, and so what happened was, it obviously worked, but it didn't work fully. So I think what happened is I halfway blasted off. Like I didn't fully break through the wall on the other dimension. And part of doing DMT is they say you just have to let go of everything. You have to let go of everything, and once you accept it and accept what you're doing, you will break through. But I think in my mind I had it that it was just not gonna work. Okay. Plus it was 6 years and it was degraded. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. But when I closed my eyes, I started seeing these shapes, and I was like, and I said to myself, I'm like, why am I seeing these weird shapes? This doesn't make sense. This isn't anything like they said it. Yeah. But next thing I know, I can hear the other guys who were like, we all kind of went on our own. Okay. Which like we really weren't, we were talking, but then everybody just kind of like just stopped talking. We were listening to the song, and then everybody just kind of went down, and then I was like listening. I don't know how long I was quote unquote asleep. I was looking at these shapes, questioning like, what the hell is this? I could hear the guys talking. Yeah. And I was like, they're talking there. Yeah. But that's like a different world. You know what I mean? It's just like we're back in the simulation thing. Like I can hear them talking. I'm still halfway connected. Yeah. Like I'm stuck in the middle. Okay. And I was like, that's so crazy that I can hear them talking, but I'm still like seeing these shapes. And then I like wake up, and then I like sit there, and I was like, holy fuck. I like felt rested. I had no clue how I was out. And then we all just kind of like looked at each other. We're like, oh my God, it worked. Like kind of worked. And so then we just started talking about it, and it was great. I was never scared. Again, it never worked fully, but I got some things out of it that I'm not going to share. I just want to keep personal, just for my own personal thing, you know. But I didn't fully break through the wall, but I kind of get it now. It's just like halfway blast off, but it was the music that took me there, and then the music turned really dark, and that's what brought me back into it. Like it started getting like a little weird and a little scary, and then I like came back out of it because of the music. And then I was like talking to the guys that I was doing it with, and they're like, yeah, man, like the music can definitely determine, and the song that we were on, they're like, that's one of the best songs. And so I didn't fully blast off, get the full experience, but I got like, you know, kind of half of it, and it was awesome, man. I would love to do it, you know, again fully. And it's just something that, like, I mean, DMT, it's in plants, it's in everything. They think like when you die, you get like a DMT rush, like your brain or your body floods your brain with DMT to help, like, you know, with everything. And yeah, it's definitely 100% illegal, like if you get caught with it. But it's the most potent psychedelic out there, and so it was just cool. It was a great experience. Like I said, for me, I got a lot out of it, for just whether it's like personal relationships and, you know, just other stuff, but to like, you know, just like I said, the halfway blast off to like, they're like literally, you just felt like I'm like right here. I'm like, they're right there, but I can't see them. I can only hear them. And they were like kind of like they were laughing, and it was peace. It was quiet. There wasn't worried about fucking Yellowstone blowing. Wasn't worried about nuclear war. Wasn't worried about my kid going to school and maybe getting shot one day. It was nothing like that. And it was just like, what is this? It was crazy, and it was awesome. So, you know, the fact that I got to do that with the people that I got to do it with, it was working. I just remember two of the guys were like, one of them was like, it's working like DMT, and one guy's like, it is DMT. And we all just like busted up laughing. But I woke up like refreshed. Again, I don't have any idea how long I could have been out. 30 seconds. I could have been out an hour. It really wasn't an hour, but I mean, you know what I mean. Like there's no concept of time, you know, when you're there. So, I mean, we got up, and then we went bowling. Like we just went to a bowling alley and just kind of, you know, hung out, you know, with each other. And I don't, like, right now I have no urge to do it again. Like if somebody brought it, I would be like, yeah, because I didn't get the full experience, but I don't have any urge to go out and try it again anytime soon. I'm still trying to process, you know, what all went through. For sure. I've been on this big, like, internal journey, I guess you could say. I don't know. Like, it's just, you know, when you have kids, you get a little bit older, and you're just trying to figure out life is about, or making sure that just trying to be the best you, I guess. And for me, I felt like, you know, that's I can tell you now that it's definitely helped my marriage for sure.
Oh, good, dude.
And I'm not saying like J-Pax and I mean, we've always been great. I mean, we get into fights like anybody else, and you just got the normal relationship stuff, but it gave me a chance to quite literally stand on the outside, evaluate stuff, and go back and try to be a better husband, be a better father, you know, and stuff like that. And if there's any chance that I thought that there was something that would happen to me and I wouldn't be around, I wouldn't do it.
No, I know that.
But again, like all the research and stuff like that, I just think it's important to just to put that out there. So, and again, it came from a trusted source, like the person who made it, like he was doing it with us. So it's not, you know, it's, you know, it's all of that. And, you know, time means everything in life, I feel. And it was just it was the perfect storm. And, yeah, man, I mean, it was great. And then, like I said, after we got back from bowling, Mikey's roommate and our cousin, they jam out all the time, and I got my favorite song. I remember at one point in time during there, that's just what they do. I mean, they'll just smoke and they just fucking play. And for whatever reason, I was like checking my phone. I think this might have been it was Friday, and I just put my phone down on my chest. It's faded as fuck, and Noah is his name, and he just started playing this song, and I got into this fucking song, like from start to finish. I was like, I fucking love that song. He's like, oh, thanks, man. He's like, that's great. And I was like, no, dude. I was like, it's hard to explain, but I was like in every note with you on that song. Like it just hit me. And so then Saturday night after we got back from bowling and stuff, he's like, hey, I'm gonna play you that song. I was like, great. And then my cousin was on the drums playing, and I'm so fucking angry because I was so faded. I missed like the first 15 seconds because I thought I hit record and I didn't. It's like the total, you know, like just sort of removed there, but I haven't. I've probably listened to it like every day since. So I'll have to show it to you. It's on my phone, but it's just like it's cool that like I said, like the fog machine is, you know, going and shit like that. So it was a fucking fantastic. It was a very much needed weekend away, and Mike and I haven't just hung out. You know, I mean, you could take everything away, just that hike, just him and I out.
Yeah, that's fucking awesome,
hiking
dude.
Together. You know, just getting in that twin time is fucking phenomenal. So, yeah, man, that was my Colorado trip. So, like I said, I got to literally do everything that I wanted. This girlfriend made us. She's from like New Mexico, and she had some of these like, green chilies that her mom made, and she made us some enchiladas or something with it. And I shit fire for like 2 days, and it was 100% worth it. You know, it was phenomenal.
Dude, dude. I love the story. I love it for multiple reasons. I love Colorado, just because everything, the freedom, how beautiful it is. It's one of my favorite states. I don't know how many states I've been to, but Colorado for sure is up there. As far as like DMT, like there's nothing wrong with that. Like I think if you're like you were saying you wanted to try to find yourself or make yourself better, I think that's what life is about. Life is about always getting better in certain ways. And like we were talking about earlier in the podcast, like it's all I don't know what we named it, but like traditional. Like, oh, you have to do this. You have to go to high school. You have to go to college. You do whatever the fuck you want to do. Right. You know, and if you want to do psychedelics or whatever, or to experience life, like if you're not hurting anybody else, you should be able to do whatever the fuck you want to do. Yeah,
and I struggled a lot. I didn't know if I wanted to tell that story on the podcast, because I don't know, honestly. I know we joke that there's only like 10 to 20 people who listen. We seriously don't have numbers, because like I said, you and I, we do it just to hang out and stuff. We don't look at numbers for anything.
It doesn't matter.
Anybody could be listening to this, you know? And I don't know how
FBI is for sure.
Yeah, and I don't know, you know, how it's going to be perceived, but as I'm getting older, I don't care. There's very few people that I care about, you know, their opinions. And, you know,
it doesn't matter.
It doesn't. I mean, people still care, obviously, like what people think about them, but I don't know. I just feel like for me, it's like who I am at this moment in life, and it's what I need. And like I said, and if you look at me different because it changed my life in a better way, I mean, we're not friends anyway.
No.
You know what I
right,
mean?
Right.
So
yeah, you're a grown man.
Yeah.
You're one of the best men I know.
oh, thanks.
You're living your life. You can do whatever you want to do. You're not hurting anybody else.
Right.
If you want to take chances, some people might think, oh, those chances are crazy. If you're fulfilling your life, nobody can tell you what to do.
Right.
You know, you're not hurting anybody else. You can do any drug you want in the world, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like, you know what? I'm a responsible guy. I want to smoke crack.
Yeah, no,
It's like,
absolutely.
Who should be like,
Yeah.
no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
You're not responsible enough to smoke. No, fuck that. I'll smoke crack. I'll make a judgment.
Yeah.
And if you would do that, I'd be like, you know what? Just if you have to do it, I would be like, do it. But
Right.
you probably shouldn't do it. Like it's
Yeah.
not good for your brain. Like
Right.
what if you know? But as far as psychedelics go, there's no harm in them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it expands your mind. There's research. People are doing research on psychedelics. Not cordyceps mushrooms, but psilocybin mushrooms. And
Psilocybin mushrooms.
Psilocybin? What did I say?
I don't know.
Oh, psilocybin mushrooms, DMT, ayahuasca,
Yeah.
like those kind of things. They do not do harm. Like tobacco is probably worse than those things.
Oh,
but
100%.
If you're expanding your mind, like you do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's not hurting you. It's not hurting anybody else. You should be able to have certain freedoms. Like we're in the land of
Yeah.
the free. But
Yeah.
I've done research on it too. I've watched documentaries. I've read about it. I've
Yeah.
researched about it. Not everybody's ready. I don't know if I'm ready. You know.
Right.
But no, I'm glad you went down
Yeah,
that journey and
And I've had conversations with some people when they're like, I guess I just, and their words, not mine, they're like, I don't feel like I need anything to enjoy anything better. And I get that.
fair. That's fair.
Yeah, no, it's 100% fair,
Yeah.
but it'd be different if I was doing this and I'm not working and then my family loses like medical insurance or
Yeah,
we lose
no.
our house because of it. But it literally hasn't affected anything that I do
Right.
in life in the negative at all.
Yeah.
So it's, I don't know. Like, I mean, I know you're very open-minded and there's a lot of, and the great part about the internet, we're talking about how great it is because of people are talking about this and stuff, like people like Joe Rogan, people like Aubrey Marcus, people like Ari Shaffir, you know, big people who have millions of followers, even if like you don't agree with it, but like you said, you just do what you got to do, you know, you're not hurting anybody.
If you're not hurting anybody else, and especially like something like this, like they consider dimethyltryptamine the spirit molecule. Like like it's in your body. Like it's not going to hurt anybody. And if it's going to expand your mind, it's going to expand your universe, and it's going to expand your thinking. Like, yeah, do it. You know, there's way worse things than that. You know, Tylenol's probably worse than that.
Yeah, sugar.
Hookah bar. The hookah bar is probably worse than
that's
that.
what I was saying. Out
You know,
of
like-
everything, the hookah bar almost put me under more than anything. So,
But I mean, but there's people that are, you know, like they're probably smoking cigarettes or chewing tobacco that are like,
why would he do that?
yeah, why would he do that? Why do they want to have medical marijuana? But you know, like,
Yeah.
you know, when I see where they're coming from, but also like, you know, do your research. There's things that are bad, like things like psychedelics, like you know, psilocybin mushrooms and DMT and ayahuasca and the MDMA even.
Yeah.
They're doing MDMA, which is in Mali, which is in ecstasy. They're using that to treat PTSD. And they're using that for multiple
absolutely.
things like that. They're not as bad as the government makes you think it is. Marijuana treats. It's a medicine, but the government wants you to think. Now it's all political. Now it's like, oh, these motherfuckers. Okay, they start with the semen jokes, and now they're just pushing their pro marijuana agenda. Okay, yeah. Now we're 2.5 hours in. You know what? Yeah, we're out.
Yeah. Remember season 1 when you guys were good? Talking about kicking sandwiches at Blimpies and shit.
You know,
Get back to that, clowns.
It was food and semen and all. Now it's all fucking political, isn't it?
No, man. But yeah, no, I knew you would. Honestly, like I said, I was on the fence about telling it. You know, I talked to some people. They're like, just fucking say it. And then it came down to it. I was like, you know what? Spicy will enjoy the fuck out of that story. So,
Dude, no, like for me, like, I love the story for so many reasons because I could picture you, you know, in Colorado, in the sun, in the mountains, hanging out with your twin Mikey. I could, you know, see you with the experiment with DMT. Like, to me, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
You know, there's like, to somebody who's done even a little bit of research, that's, you know, you could smoke a little bit of DMT or drink a bottle of vodka, like, which is more dangerous, the vodka, you know, like,
right.
You know, if you know even a little bit. But no, I love that story. I love Colorado. I love freedom. If you're not hurting anybody else, like, you do it, you know. No, man, no, it's all love.
Hell yeah.
Shit, yeah.
Well, fuck, man, we've been going for a while. It's getting pretty early, so I say we can wrap this up, and then we got a long weekend of fucking recording. So
yes, sir.
It's gonna be awesome. Do you want to do your shouts out and fuck you?
Oh, I could definitely do that.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so I want to give a shout out to No Witness Barbecue.
Oh, hell yeah, that was on my list.
All right, I want to give a shout out to Childish Gambino.
Oh,
because he got mentioned earlier, and I mean, he's so good, dude. And I've been following Childish Gambino for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, he's a comedian, which I don't think his comedian, you know, his stand-up game is strong, but he's focusing on so much other stuff.
Yeah.
You know, he's doing TV shows. He's doing
movies.
He's recording albums. He just came out with the fucking new video, This Is America. I've been a fan of Childish Gambino for a long time. There's not a lot of people that do that many things that well. To have a Netflix stand-up special, to have his Atlanta, the TV show.
Yeah. Everything he does is gold.
Everything he does.
He's fucking
his
good.
music is fucking good.
Yeah.
He's shouts out to Childish Gambino. I want to shouts out to Sean Evans. We brought him up multiple times with Hot Ones. Like, he's doing big. He's gonna do big things, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people respect his work on Hot Ones, and he's gonna kill it. And then I want to give a shout out to your goatee, man, because I don't know if I've ever seen you, like, your goatee game looks fucking sharp as fuck, dude. Plus you're looking slim, like you've been cutting weight. You're sexy as fuck, dude. The biggest shout out is to you.
Oh, I appreciate that.
All right, no problem.
I gotta look good sitting across from you.
Oh, fuck,
I gotta
you look
try to
good as
try
fuck.
to keep up.
Oh, homie, you look good as fuck. My only fuck you is tonight is the crock pot liner people, you know, because if you're like, like we got 2 crock pots and a roaster, and all 3 of those are like you just wash them out, like scrape them, like they're like the finish on them it's not like a plate or anything else, like it's easy to come out, like, so if you're buying a liner for your crock pot, like, maybe consider doing some DMT or fucking some mushrooms. Just do something with your life, but that's what
definitely. I got. Awesome. Well, I got some shouts out to all the nasties out there that just keep coming back for whatever God knows reason. Thanks. You know, I mean, there's Jesus very few, but you guys are powerful. I know you. I've gotten a bunch of texts like, when the fuck's the new podcast coming out? Come on. So, and we are getting to your guys' questions. I know we have a ton. Some people have asked, hey, have you got to it? We're going to be recording. Hopefully the question answers are coming out within the next couple of weeks for you. Yeah. So with that, shouts out to Zima. We haven't mentioned her, but we were bumping her earlier. Shouts out to Krayshawn, man. She's got some fucking bomb ass songs. Still holds up. You a bad bitch.
That bitch.
Shouts out to hammocks because they're the fucking bomb. Can't wait to snuggle up in that hammock.
God,
maybe I can get fucking Coco to snuggle up with me in that hammock.
I
may not move. I may just do the podcast out there. We could just get in the hammock together and do the podcast. I just have one fuck you. It's like Kanye West's new song. Get it together, Kanye. Come on. Your album's gonna be fire. At least it better be. You better be fucking dropping some lyrics and shit. Nasties, it's fucking great to be back in BDC Studios. It's great to be across from you, man. This is fucking... It is a blast. This is season 3, episode 44. New season, same old bullshit. For sure. We're all across the board with all social media. Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, at Nasty and Friends for all of it. And guys, remember, life's simple. Don't be a dick. Night sluts. fucking yeah, yeah.
Original bad boy.